Welcome to the UglyMugsPodcast. I'm your host, Quincey.
And your other host, Justin.
So today I went with another Seattle's Best coffee. This one is their Very Vanilla. Now I'm doing it with my French vanilla creamer, and I'm starting to notice something. This is the second or third flavored coffee I've done. For some reason, my creamer doesn't mix well with it. Now, Lauren does a caramel one. I'm not entirely sure what it is. That mixes well with this one, mixes well with the caramel one, but my French vanilla creamer doesn't mix very well with the very vanilla. I don't understand it.
I mean,
it's still good. It's just like it's almost like it causes a weird aftertaste.
It's like an American vanilla mixed with a French vanilla?
It just says very vanilla. I don't know. But it was even when I was doing the French vanilla with the caramel, which I know that's on me. It sounds weird, but I don't know. What do you got over there?
I got me another Tivana. It is a peach tranquility, and holy cow, it is heavy on the peach. The first sip I had of it was just peach, and then a bit of chamomile. I could taste the chamomile. It is very pleasant.
Yeah, I like peach, so I'm probably gonna give that one a shot later.
Now
you were talking that the chamomile is gonna calm you down.
Yeah, I need the calming.
It's still gonna kill the mood of the episode, man.
I am still having a hard time sleeping, but it's not of any other fault than my own. My mind continues to race, so I just force myself to write, and I stay up until 7 a.m. and it's just how I live.
To be fair, you work nights, so you're already staying up late from that, and you don't want to go home from work and go straight to sleep.
But I stay up 7 hours after I get home.
Well, I mean, how long are you awake before you go to work?
An hour and a half.
Okay, so I mean that's not too bad.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I suppose.
Yeah, that kind of works out to almost a normal day. I mean, you figure if you're sleeping closer to 8 hours still. No, how many hours are you getting?
6 at best.
Okay, so maybe cut it back a little bit. But we're gonna start with. I think we should start with the sad news for the day.
Sad news? What's the sad news?
The creator and author of the manga for Lupin the Third passed away.
Oh no!
So he actually passed away on Thursday. It's just the news didn't hit until just now. He was 81, and he succumbed to pneumonia on the 11th. I'm gonna need your help with saying this name so I don't butcher it. It's the one with the lines underneath it right there.
Kazuhiko Kato,
also known as Monkey Punch. That was his nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Or pen name. I've always wanted to start Lupin the Third. Everyone tells me that they think that's the anime for me.
Yeah, I would say either that one or Detective Conan.
Yeah, I want to start that one as well. The problem is, Lupin the Third's an old anime. Like, it dates back to, what, the 70s?
Late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, so
let's find out.
I can buy it on DVD and get the dubbed. Or I can watch it on, I think, Crunchyroll with subbed.
Yeah, but you're not a big fan of sub.
My problem is keeping up. Okay, yeah. October 3rd, 1977, Lupin the Third started. Now, the other issue... The other issue I run into with Lupin the Third for me starting it is the movies are everywhere. They're on Netflix. They're on like all these different streaming services, Funimation, Crunchyroll,
and it just had one more movie not too long ago.
Yeah, but the original seasons, which is where I want to start because I want to get the full story. I want to know who Lupin is. Those are hard to find.
Yeah.
So even like some of the shadier online watch it for free things, you don't even have it dubbed.
You might actually be able to find it a little bit easier now, maybe because as Memoriam, I'm hoping
that'd be kind of cool. I like I said, I can get the DVDs on Amazon. I just haven't done it.
Because another sad thing, the Notre Dame Cathedral burnt down, and Ubisoft did something nice by releasing Odyssey or
Unity.
Unity.
Assassin's Creed Unity is free on PC right now.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's super cool.
It has a full virtual reality tour of the cathedral.
Yeah, which
is something that they've started doing where they're like, we understand we're a history game, so they're trying to get a little more into that. You could do a full museum run through of Origins.
Would you consider Assassin's Creed an education game?
No. So, like, a lot of the people are actual figureheads.
Yeah, and like Leonardo da Vinci and all them.
But the problem is that its core storyline is fiction.
Yes.
So it starts to blur the lines between reality and fiction.
Oh, of course.
So, like what they did with the museum thing on Origins, yes, it could be educational. You could sit there, watch that, learn all the stuff about the pyramids and the different, structures out there and the graves and whatnot. The cities, everything. But if you're playing just the story, you can't take that as fact. It's too much fiction. They even when you start playing their other games, kind of cross themselves into the fictional universe. Ubisoft's like a thing, and Abstergo is basically Ubisoft, and it becomes this whole thing. That being said, I do like the fact that they are starting to do these digital mock-ups of these famous things. It's kind of like, did you see those Microsoft commercials with Common, the rapper?
A while back.
The ones where he's got the guy that's doing the digital scans of a bunch of like ruins, basically.
Oh yeah, now okay, yeah.
It's kind of like, Ubisoft's kind of doing that without doing the scans, and
They're
I feel like
doing
if the two of them were to get together, we could do some amazing things for history.
Yeah, and there was all this individual person who made a mock-up of the building, and they said, "Hey, here's this. I just all I want is just recognition that I helped recreate this. If you happen to use my model." And I'm like, that's super freaking keen. And he says, here's the budget. If you guys push for it, this is how much it will cost. It shouldn't be too much if the city wishes to pay for it to recreate what was lost.
Yeah, and now I want to see the building get fixed because it is part of France's history. It's part of the world's history. I mean, how many of us grew up just watching Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Raise hand.
Like, it may not be my favorite Disney movie, but I watched it plenty. I own it on VHS.
It's on my top 10 just because of its monumentous character building.
I just like the horse that sits on people.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's a good story, and then there's also the fact that it's been done. It wasn't a Disney original. Hunchback of Notre Dame's been a thing long before that.
Oh, of course. Most of the stories were not original.
Yeah, no, most of them aren't.
Disney put a spin on it that made it original.
Family friendly.
Yeah, family. Well, looks over at Mulan.
Well, okay, but let's be honest. Cinderella's a lot more family friendly than the Grimm's fairy tale version.
Yeah, all the Grimms.
Yeah. So, and Notre Dame's even early Notre Dame's were much more horror-esque.
Yeah.
Now I since you brought this up, we don't get political on this show. This show is to get away from politics, but I do have to say I have one issue with what's going on with Notre Dame. So many people are pledging money to fix it, which is fine. Pledge money to fix it. But a lot of those people are Americans, and we've still got a few things we need to figure out here.
Flint, Michigan, still without clean
Michigan,
Puerto Rico is
Puerto Rico. That was the other one I was going to make the point of. We have responsibilities there. Don't get me wrong. I want to help France because they've been nothing but good to us, and we want to keep that friendship going. But we still need some help here. Yeah. And I'm not asking people to help us. I'm just asking us to help us.
And speaking of funding, they blew people put money towards things they really like, which is fine, but they just made $10.25 million for the Legend of Vox Machina not too recently.
Yeah, that's an insane amount of money.
That's an insane amount of money.
But I mean, I know that they're gonna put it to work and everything.
They are, and I'm like,
and I don't want to say people aren't doing anything for Flint, because Elon Musk has sent stuff out there for some of the school buildings and stuff like that. And Jaden Smith did his whole clean water thing.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did this whole huge clean water thing. When I hear Disney put up $5 million for Notre Dame, I'm like, come on, guys, put $5 million up for Flint, put $5 million up for Port.
Yeah.
But we don't want to get political on here, and that's what we try to avoid. It was something I felt kind of needed to be said. Yeah. And I know I'm not the only one saying it. I've seen it all over online. It's
not really political. It's more along the lines of understanding.
Yeah. And I hope the Notre Dame Cathedral does get fixed, and I would love to see it get fixed. I'd love to eventually visit it one day.
Oh yeah, same. Sure, I would have preferred to visit the old one, but the new one will do.
Yeah, and BuzzFeed did this really great article where they're like, remember this building survived 2 world wars, plagues, all kinds of stuff. It's been around for 856 years or something like that.
Yeah, it has been through the Black Plague.
It was hit with 14 airstrikes, I think, during World War II. And stayed standing. So, I mean, it's a strong building.
I'm pretty sure neither one of us sitting here will be able to withstand one airstrike. Yeah,
and it's like there's other buildings out in other places in France and Europe and stuff like that were completely destroyed during World War II that they still rebuilt using as much original material as they could and then using new. They care about their history, and they're going to keep as much of it as possible. So the cathedral will get fixed. And I'm just glad the art survived and that no one was hurt.
And another thing that survived was a golden cross, but someone on Twitter made a comment of, hey, people who don't believe in religion, this golden cross still stands even after the whole entire building burnt down. Wood burns at about 580 to 620 degrees Celsius. Melting point for gold is about, I think it's 1100 to 1300 degrees Celsius, depending on type of gold used. So I don't think it would have reached that melting point. So to person who had that out there, good on you, good on you. I hope it calls you out secretly.
But we're going to move on from that. Since we brought up Disney during this, I figure we'll move on to just a quick note there. We spent last episode talking a lot about the Disney Plus thing and the rumored price. It's a confirmed price now.
$6.99 for everything.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going, that's basically half of what I pay on Netflix.
So I've already canceled my Netflix, and because I'm sure that you can have multiple screens of Disney Plus, and I want to piggyback off you, but at the same time, I'm like, for that price, I'll do my own.
Yeah,
I will back it.
Well, technically the whole piggybacking thing we do with Netflix and Hulu, anything. Not that I'm having everybody piggyback my Netflix, because I actually am not.
I'm not using it because there's nothing I want to watch on it.
But technically, it is against the terms of service, and they could cancel your account.
Really, even if it's family.
Yep, it's supposed to be household, not like cross city, cross country, yada yada yada. So it's in there. So those of you that have an aunt or an uncle 2 states away using your Netflix, not exactly supposed to. I'm not ratting you out. I fully understand it.
Yeah,
but just warning: if Netflix ever decides they're going to get greedy, which look at the prices, they're starting to.
They upped it.
Yeah, $12.99 for me now. I have been a member of Netflix for 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah, no,
and I'm now paying $12.99.
When they canceled Punisher was the moment I said, I have no choice. I'm sorry, you guys got rid of the thing I like. You guys got rid of everything I wanted out of this.
Well, we got a few news stories here about Netflix today, so this seems like a good lead-in. I'm paying $12.99 a month, and they're justifying it by saying, well, we're going to bring you more original content and better original content. And what are they bringing me? Green Eggs and Ham animated series.
And something Mike Myers is stewing up.
So, yeah, this one I'm a little excited about. But the Green Eggs and Ham thing, I'm like, that's why I'm paying $12.99 a month. This I don't like. This I'm interested in.
Okay.
Mike Myers, I want to focus on some better roles. So SNL, So I Married an Axe Murderer, even Austin Powers. I honestly got burnt out on Shrek a long time ago. First one was good. I don't like it anymore. Second one was okay. Third was crap. Everything after was crap. Crappity crap.
They
crap,
milked
crap,
it.
crap.
They
did.
Milked
but
it.
That's what what's it called? DreamWorks does. They're doing it with Kung Fu Panda. They're doing it with Trolls.
To be fair, Kung Fu Panda actually has a pretty good narrative, albeit very Machina-y just to keep the story going, but the stories aren't too bad.
It's just they milk all their originals. I mean, there's even a Puss in Boots cartoon on Netflix. There's a Trolls cartoon on Netflix.
That one I didn't
How
know
to Train
about.
Your Dragon. I'll give you How to Train Your Dragon just because of how many books it has.
I like it.
I haven't watched it, but everyone tells me it's good, and it's got a lot of books. So that's the only one I understand. But why did we need 4 Shrek movies, a Shrek musical, Puss in Boots spin-off TV series? Why?
It's just...
Furthermore, the Shrek movies weren't exactly... They were family movies with a lot of adult jokes that went over the kids' heads.
And that,
How are you going to make a Puss in Boots cartoon that would work the same way? I don't know. I feel like it kind of killed a few careers because, I mean, when was the last time we saw something we really enjoyed from Eddie Murphy? And I want to keep seeing Eddie Murphy. I miss seeing Eddie Murphy. And, and Mike Myers. Like, when was the last time I saw a big thing for Myers? What, he was in Inglourious Bastards for 5 seconds? I mean, we still don't have Austin Powers 4.
No.
Which he keeps promising.
Yeah. I mean, he says it's in pre-production. The last thing I remember seeing... Oh, Mr. Church was the last thing I saw him in, but that was 2016.
Yeah, I didn't even see Mr. Church.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty good.
That's Eddie Murphy. Antonio Banderas is another one that I don't see anything from anymore. Who I'm like, between Spy Kids and Shrek, what happened to Banderas? Like, I miss him. These are actors I grew up with. These are actors that did amazing roles. I thought Banderas was great in Assassins. I thought he was great in Interview with a Vampire. I thought he made an amazing Zorro. The whole El Mariachi series between Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Desperado, those were all great to me. Yeah, he was in Expendables 3. I don't even remember him in that.
Yeah, he had a okay sized role.
I do not remember Banderas in Expendables 3 at all. In fact, I think that's the one with... Isn't that the one with Harrison Ford?
Yeah,
I remember Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford and all the newcomers like Ronda Rousey
and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember all of them. I do not remember Banderas.
Yeah.
And go ahead and scroll down really quick. This one right here, The Skin I Live In. I've never seen it. Everyone says it's amazing. I hear this is a great movie, and it's on my list to watch.
It looks just from this cover we're looking at. It looks like an old early '80s, late '70s movie.
The poster almost reminds me of like a classy Hammer horror poster.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like Shrek killed a lot of stuff. You know, I mean, who's Fiona? I'm spacing on her name. She was in Charlie's Angels. I can't think of her name right now. But she's another one that I feel kind of just vanished. You're not gonna find it pulling up Charlie's Angels because it's gonna pull up the TV show and the new movie they're working on.
Shut up. Maybe if I'm trying to actually figure it out because it.
No, that's the TV show.
Fuck.
Just type in Princess Fiona voice actors.
Fucking A.
I don't know why you went with Charlie's Angels.
I went with what was working with me. Okay, leave me alone.
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz.
I just mean what Night and Day with Tom Cruise, which was actually really enjoyable. I don't care what people say, but I mean, I don't know what else she's been up to. And Night and Day was years ago. Hell, I saw that one in theaters. That was how long ago it was because I barely go to the theaters anymore.
Oh yeah, she hasn't done anything.
Oh, Sex Tape. Okay, I remember Sex Tape was a good one with her and Jason Segel, but that was 2014.
Yeah, that was a while back.
She hasn't released a new movie. She hasn't been in TV shows. Nothing since 2014. It's been 5 years since we've seen anything from her. Yeah, and she used to be huge. I mean, My Best Friend's Wedding, Charlie's Angels,
Something About Mary,
Sky, Something About Mary. She was all over the place with good roles.
Yeah,
and some not so good roles because I mean, sometimes movies just don't turn out the way you expect.
Yeah. I don't want to think about it.
But I firmly believe Shrek killed several careers.
But that's the thing. Did it really, or did the people just give up?
Well, because look, Banderas is still doing stuff.
Banderas is still doing stuff, but I mean, is it things we've heard of?
So The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, that's supposed to be, I think, a sequel to The Hitman's Bodyguard, the Samuel L. Jackson, Ryan Reynolds movie.
I heard that was good.
I heard it was good too. I didn't see it. That's set for a 2020 release.
I heard they had a good chemistry.
I'm sure they're both crazy, in a good way.
In a good way.
But
fucking, I watched another one of his. I watched another one of Samuel L. Jackson's interviews. Mm-hmm. Holy shit! Y'all motherfuckers need to learn how to spell grammar.
But it's just. I feel like they did Shrek, and they still had careers for a little bit, and then they did Shrek 2, and their careers started to peter out a little bit.
They dwindled.
And then they did Shrek 3, and then they did Shrek 4, then they were doing all the Christmas specials, the Halloween specials, the spin-offs, this, that, and the other, and it just kind of became a thing where it's just like, who cares anymore? Yeah. So Antonio Banderas went uncredited in Spy Kids 4, and I think that, which I didn't see, or 4D, which I didn't see, but think that was the last of the originals because then they did the newest one where the actors are all grown up, and so now I think it's their kids. Oh. But even those movies were terrible and shouldn't have been a thing. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I watched them when I was a kid, but I mean...
But back to the original thing.
Yeah, what we were originally talking about, Myers is doing a comedy series.
He's doing a 6-parter, and I mean, Myers is a very, very intelligent person when it comes to comedy. So yeah. I'm super excited to see what he can come up with to enable us to enjoy it. Because I was very skeptical when you said Adam Sandler had another special. I was like, oh man, he must be tired. No, he brought it. He gave me good feelings of like 1980s In Living Color again.
That's Jim Carrey.
That's Jim Carrey. Was
Adam Sandler's SNL.
Okay, even still, same shit. Because even still, Jim Carrey's bringing it.
Jim Carrey is.
Did you hear his stand up when he went on stage to talk about his role as Dr. Robotnik?
It's fun being evil.
Yeah. And he says, I'm going to try to do what Robotnik does best. I watched a little bit of Sonic Boom, and then the crowd like stirred and was like, "Oh," he's like, "Don't worry, I see what that Dr. Robotnik did. I'm going to take a few pages from it. There are some good things there. I'm going to do my best."
I don't know. I still can't get over that released image of Sonic.
Real talk, it's weird, but then again, we got a Pikachu that's voiced by Ryan Reynolds that I have a problem
also
with.
Don't like. So.
But you got to figure, it's already starting to get some good reception. Because you also have.
Speaking of which, I'm sorry to cut you off here.
That's
but
fine. We're cutting everybody off
you
here.
just thought you just made me think of something. Will Smith talked about seeing a bunch of the memes after the first Aladdin trailer dropped, and he goes, "There were some pretty funny ones, including one where they did a Sonic the Hedgehog genie."
Yeah, I saw that one too.
So, he's taking it in jest. You know?
Yeah, everybody's doing okay with their feedback except for Harbor, the guy who played David Harbor, the guy who played Hellboy. He is having a hard time coping with
that sucks.
Having the numbers drop. He's like, I thought I did good, but I don't know.
I mean, he can be great, but if the movie's a mess like everyone's saying it is, then I mean, it's not his fault.
Let's actually check it out right now.
Well, before we leave this page,
okay,
because I don't have all the information on this written down. So Myers is doing. It's currently got 6 episodes for this Netflix series. I think it's gonna be clocking at half an hour, and he's going to be playing multiple characters again.
So I'm thinking it's like Meet the Clumps.
You're talking the second Nutty Professor, but even the first Nutty Professor, they did that.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it was all around them.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this is something that Myers has done plenty of times before. I just don't think he's ever done it on this scale because, you know, Austin Powers, he plays 2 characters. He's Powers and Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
So I Married an Axe Murderer, he plays his character, then he plays the character's father. You know, he's not afraid to do multiple characters, and he's actually quoted here, and I dropped my phone. He's actually quoted here, "I love creating characters, and Netflix has given me a fantastic playground to play in." So that makes me excited.
I mean, I'm hype. I do enjoy Myers. It's just a few roles are a little questionable. Cat in the Hat was a little questionable, especially with a few of the inside jokes that were played.
Oh yeah,
that one hit a little hard.
That one was weird.
The balls jokes,
the dirty hoe joke with the
yeah, I remember now. Okay, yeah,
but I mean, I never pictured Myers as family, you know.
So this is why I'm gonna be like, this one's gonna probably hit really hard. I'm hoping it hits hard because it just states it's a comedy series. It doesn't say it's meant for family. So I'm hoping if he's going to hit hard, I want him to stick that.
I mean, I grew up watching him on SNL, watching him in Wayne's World 2.
Oh, Wayne's World was great.
But you know, so I Married an Axe Murderer. He did. Those are both based off of SNL skits too.
Oh yeah.
So that's another thing where I'm like, could he possibly be bringing us more SNL characters?
I mean,
I would love it. But he does great character acting, because go and watch him in Inglourious Bastards. Even though he's only there for a few minutes, you love that character, and you're kind of pissed off that character's not in the rest of the movie.
I forget which character he plays.
He's like a general or a sergeant or something like that. Right before Brad Pitt takes over for the guys, he tells, "I'm going to need 100 Nazi scalps from every one of you."
Yeah. Okay.
And he's even fun with that character, and I mean, I loved him in all 3 Austin Powers movies as Powers, Evil, and Fat Bastard. I think that was all he played.
He might have done something else, but we're not
small.
Yeah, something small that we just don't remember.
So I have high hopes for this, and this will actually, if this turns out well, will make me feel a little bit better about paying every month. I still don't like that I'm paying $12.99.
I'm canceled, so I'll probably watch it while I'm with you guys.
Just come over here and watch it.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're gonna see the Hellboy Metacritic. Here we go. Okay, it moved up a little bit. It moved up.
31. It came out 5 days ago at this point.
Yes.
So, which, by the way, we are recording on a Wednesday. I've got to take a personal day tomorrow, so we just moved up the day.
Yep.
It's got some high numbers on these reviews. That one's an 84.
Yeah, this is the user reviews. User reviews at a 53, which seems
5.3.
5.3, but it's 53 out of 100, whatever. But even still, it seems to be okay.
So it's got 62 positive reviews. This is user. 30 mixed, 49 negative.
Yeah.
But when you move over to the Metascore reviews, you got only 1 positive, 18 negative, but 23 mixed.
And that stays at least 50% or lower.
Yeah. So
that's a bit of a bother.
So I like this quote right here. This is a quote on Metacritic from Original Sin. I'm trying to say it around the mic. Jim Slotnick?
I think it's not.
Yeah, it's an L. He says the Hellboy looks like the real Hellboy, but the heart and soul have gone AWOL.
That is a key phrase.
Yeah,
So it seems like it's an enjoyable movie, but it doesn't seem like it has the Hellboy narrative.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, that was the
is-
thing. Like, you knew what to follow in Del Toro's.
Yeah.
So
I mean, second one not too much.
the second one should
it
have
had-
been one movie.
It had too much pandering.
Yeah, I think the second one could have been 2 movies.
Because when the Abe and Hellboy were getting drunk, and they started doing the singing, and then the whole never ask when a woman is angry because then they'll get even more mad at you. You know, it's like, don't pander. No, that was actually not great.
I also don't understand how you have a 2-hour movie. This runtime for this movie is 120 minutes. It's 2 hours.
Yeah.
How do you have a 2-hour movie that has a mess of a story? Like, you gotta, because you gotta stop and figure, movies are always longer than what you release. They end up cutting and editing and pulling.
So it makes
things
me wonder
out.
what was cut.
Like, how long was this movie originally? It's kind of like Endgame being 3 hours. How long was Endgame before you edited?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a part of freaking Infinity War, and then they
Probably.
kind of had to be like, it'll continue.
Back to the Future 3 did.
Yeah, Back to the Future 3 did.
Which reminds me, Kevin Smith just finished his first edit on Reboot, and it's clocking at 1:54. He wants it at 1:45. So he's going to do another edit to try to squeeze out that 9 minutes. But he says he's happy with where it is. He just wants it
A little bit short.
a little bit shorter. He says this is where the hard choice is going to be, though, because this means actually cutting something.
Yeah.
So he does all of his own editing. He actually edited Zack and Mary Make a Porno as they were filming it, so he could show them the movie as they were doing it. But we're going to move on to another TV show here. I'm a little iffy on this.
I
Not
don't
the
know.
casting. I'm iffy on the show.
I'm brand new to the game series, so I'm not 100% behind it.
I
But
played for the first 2 or 3, and then I just checked out. We're talking Halo TV series, which this is going on Showtime. Now, we have an interesting thing going on where HBO picked up several big things between Game of Thrones and doing Fahrenheit 451 as a movie. So then you have, what is it called? Not Cinemax. One of the other movie stations, I can't think of it right now, picked up a comic book series. And it's Outcast is the series. And then you've got Starz, who's picked up a few things. So now you've got Showtime deciding they're going to pick up something that already exists, and that being Halo.
And it makes me wonder how many people are actually going to lean out and go for Showtime, because Showtime is very niche.
I mean, I have Showtime.
Huh?
I have Showtime.
I get it, but what I'm saying is those who don't have it, what does Showtime have that you want? Let's go with that.
Oh, they've got a few originals I know already. So I mean, I don't think they can't handle it. I'm just not sure they should have picked something that's got such a fan following. Like, every little thing they do to Halo is going to be critiqued. So they announced the actor for Master Chief today. Pablo, and I'm not entirely sure how to say this last name. Schreiber. Now, what is he from?
Orange is the New Black, and I think that's the only thing I know him from. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Orange is the New Black and First Man.
Okay, I don't remember him in Orange is the New Black, and I didn't see First Man, so I can't really say.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll do fine. I just hope he realizes.
It's a guy in a mask.
I was gonna say, I hope he realizes that this role, he's really gonna have to learn how to, not learn, because he may already know, but he's gonna have to be able to really deliver this character through wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
Unless they decide to take the helmet off, but then Halo fans will riot. So it's a weird one, you know. It's like Robert Downey Jr. does amazing with Iron Man, but he says one of the worst parts is being in the helmet all the time and not actually being acting face to face.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have the actor that did Judge Dredd for the Dredd remake, and he was very much, I'm going to leave the helmet on the whole time because that's how the character is. So you just pulled this up. I knew about this.
I didn't.
I heard about this. It was okay. I mean cool.
3 extra
Go
days. Spider-Man Far From Home, North American release date moved up to July 2nd from its original on July 5th. So that way you can watch it on 4th of July.
Yeah. I'm assuming that was probably their thought process because people do go to the movies on the 4th of July.
Yeah. It's a good opener, and then go home and light off some fireworks or watch the ones in the major areas.
Barbecue
I get it.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, sure.
I mean, I'm kind of excited for this movie, but I'm also a little worried about Gyllenhaal being
Mysterio?
Mysterio, just because I feel like they casted someone who's so well known. It's gonna be a lot of taking the helmet off, and it's kind of what we were just talking about with Master Chief and Dredd and all that. Leave the helmet on.
Yeah.
Don't take the helmet off every 5 seconds. One of the biggest things about him fighting Mysterio is every artist loves to draw when he breaks the helmet. He punches through the fishbowl, and then you see Mysterio inside. And I'm wondering if we're even going to get that, because most likely the helmet's going to come off and he's just going to be punching Gyllenhaal in the face.
There was one where it was like punch and then only a chip pops off and it sinks into his face and it's just his eye showing. And I'm
that's
like,
cool.
And he's looking at him with such this intense rage, and you get this good face-to-face moment before Mysterio just gives him one back and rips off a bit of Spider-Man's mask. And it's like, oh, that's a good scene.
That's pretty cool. The other thing I worry about with this is Mysterio is supposed to be a special effects stunt double guy turned villain. And so everything he does is his knowledge of special effects and stuff like that. And
it showcases like real shit.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, it's Gyllenhaal. None of us are gonna believe him as special effects stunt double guy.
So he's
Gyllenhaal.
Unless they actually pull out something arcane about him, because it does seem like he does some fucking Doctor Strange shit.
But I don't want that, because that's not how the character is.
Maybe it's all smoke and mirrors. Maybe we are the wrong ones.
That's supposed to be the biggest thing, is that it is smoke and mirrors, and that Spidey a lot of times falls for it and then goes, "Oh shit, my spider sense didn't go off. I should have known it was fake." You know, and that's kind of he kind of starts using that to his advantage against Mysterio.
A lot of shit was launched about Borderlands 3, and I want to talk about it.
Go ahead. I mean, I'm excited for the game still.
Something that you're going to be happy about.
I just need to burn through the rest of 2 and do the pre-sequel and the Telltale game.
Do 2 DLC. You have Game of the Year edition for 2, right?
Yeah.
Get on that fucking D&D fucking...
I think I do.
We'll check later on. But local co-op has been confirmed, so you can actually do split screen.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I remember that used to be one of your biggest pet peeves with games coming out. You were just like, eh.
Everything has become so online multiplayer that like you can no longer have a friend come over and chill on your couch unless you're setting up a second fucking console and a second TV.
Yeah.
And that comes from the urge to sell second copies and second consoles and second TVs. Not, they're not making anything extra off of couch co-op.
Mm-hmm.
So I like local co-op has been confirmed.
There's going to be a melee slot for weapons. Well, you'll have your weapon slots, your 4 main weapon slots, and a melee slot. So that way, if you're building a melee type build for certain characters, such as the Fist Woman Knight, I can't remember her name, but even still, when you're playing as her, the melee will begin to scale with the weapon you have selected. I'm like, okay, cool. Gearbox cannot promise the crossplay that was somewhat announced earlier on, because I'm assuming Sony is behind this.
Well, they have a quote right here that I like.
Oh yeah, not everyone is playing well with another.
And this is typical. Like, we saw this with several games.
I'm still thinking it's Sony having a problem, but then again, I'm probably going to be PC. You're going to be probably Xbox One, so we're going to be comfortable because they're probably going to be fine. I'm pretty sure there will be an availability, because Steam is also having talks with certain Windows games to do cross-platforming, because they did it with Rocket League, and that is doing amazingly, by the way.
I'm sure this also comes from the fact that Steam's trying to find something to have a one-up on Epic from.
Not really. They're just now saying, this is a problem. People want to play with their friends. We're making enough money. You're making enough money.
That's the thing.
Let's just cut our losses and say, we're going to give a handshake to people who want to play these games on their favorite playing field.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you did buy an Xbox, but you didn't buy the Xbox just purely so that we could play together. You bought it because a bunch of the stuff that wasn't available.
Yeah, Halo, but now that's going to be fucking available on Steam. Yeah. God damn it.
So that one kind of came back to bite you, but it's like, I'm
Fable.
not going to go and buy... Yeah, true. I'm not going to go and buy a $600 fucking... Or $600 and have it be crap. Gaming PC.
We'll talk about something
just so that
I
can play with you.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
and not because I'm like, oh, he's not worth it, but because I'm like, who the fuck has the $600 laying around?
Yeah,
you know, and the people that do, well, please send me a gaming PC.
Yeah, I'm using one of the older PCs, and it's very good. It's just we need parts, and I mean another PC would be amazing, especially a gaming one. So that way we can actually, because what we want to do is start branching out to doing like game reviews. Like I can do it just fine, but I kind of don't want to do it alone.
I mean, I can review anything that's on Xbox, PlayStation.
Yeah,
I can't do Wii because I don't have the. Well, I mean, I can do Wii U, but I can't do Switch, which is an eventual goal as well.
Oh yeah,
there's a few more things announced here that I like though. So Ashley Birch will return as Tiny Tina.
And she's apparently older. They showed a few sneak images. They were saying this is Tina, and then I was like, "That's Tina." She's apparently 18.
Cool.
And so she's a little bit older, but still has the.
I haven't met Tiny Tina. I know about her, but like where I'm at in the game, I haven't met her.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get very far into it. Well, because I also go through and I do all the side missions for an area to try to lower my amount of times going back there.
Oh.
Reminder, the first time I played Borderlands, dear Lord, I wished I had the ability to record because I had done every side mission. Everything was 100% completed going into opening Pandora's box. So that, spoilers, when the monster comes out, I literally just pointed. I had the burst gun and I had it full auto. So as soon as his health bar showed up showing he could be attacked, I just held the trigger and he was dead.
Okay.
I dropped the entire thing before it was even fully out of the box. It never even got the chance to attack. So I'm doing the same thing with 2, and I pop onto it every couple of months. I just don't sit there and play it hardcore, you know.
I mean, I would say you can after level 15, you can hop into any DLC. So I would say you can like finish up your area that you're at and then go straight to a DLC if you want.
I probably will, because you're telling me the DLCs for this one are really good, and I had gotten a little annoyed with the DLCs on 1. I never actually finished the DLCs on 1.
1 had 2 good ones.
The first one I did was that zombie one, so I was.
That was the bad one. Yeah. That was the bad one.
Well, I thought zombies, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, that's cool." And I was wrong.
No, but fucking General Knox's Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
That one was a good one. And then there was the other one. Oh no! But it was even still, all the other ones were good.
I also like the first thing here.
The slag effect will be replaced with a radiation like.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, people weren't using slag weapons unless you had a soldier with you that had slag attached to the turrets, because that was the only way slag was ever utilized properly, because everyone had to use a slag weapon, then switch out for another weapon, and they found it to be not cost effective, because slag to a boss is minimal.
Yeah.
So they were like, maybe we can do something better.
And another thing I like here, this is something that really sells me on a game now.
Go for it.
And this makes me very excited.
Hit me.
So, like the pre-sequel, Vault Hunters will have dialogue with the world and people around them.
Yeah. Because story.
Yeah. And that's something that, you know, I gotta say is, I've talked about it before where I want story, I don't want a movie. I still want it to be a game.
Okay.
So while I'm playing Vampire right now, which is very story-centric, because I'm in control of the dialogue, I'm in control of when I talk to them, and I'm not being murdered by cutscenes, I'm enjoying a lot more than when I played the final Nathan Drake Uncharted.
Yeah.
Because that was just cutscene after fucking cutscene. So I'm all for this so far. Borderlands 3 has not done anything to upset me, which is very rare nowadays because everything upsets me.
Yeah. The EchoNet 3.0 is a physical device used with every vending machine transaction and every menu transaction. I wonder what the hell
I have no idea.
Like, I'm really confused at what it is.
Yeah.
Because it says a physical device used with every vending machine transaction and every menu transaction. I don't understand what that...
So, since we're on the subject of games that upset me and games that don't upset me...
is there going to be a mobile app?
I doubt it. Just highlight it and search Google. I've been talking a lot about how I'm not interested in the new Mortal Kombat. I've watched a couple more trailers that are getting me interested, and I hate that they're getting me interested. So I watched Johnny's run through of his finisher. I also watched Noob's run through of his finisher. And I'm like, they look so good.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to pay full price for this game.
That's fine. Completely understandable.
I may even just go through and cash in some points at GameStop or something. You know, $60 is a lot.
Echo skins from the deluxe edition. So it's a physical device your character carries. So okay, by the word physical, it's still there. What your character carries. It's in game. Okay,
Gotcha.
So that's why I was super confused. I'm like, is this an app? What? Do you check every day to see what's on sale so that way you can purchase it for your character on the daily basis?
So I like the concept of that. I like the concept of interactive apps that I can have on my phone that are interactive with the community for my game.
Yeah.
And a few games have tried to do that. Battlefield 1 did a very interesting one where there was actually a mini game you could play on there that would get you stuff for Battlefield, and that was interesting. Or not Battlefield, Battlefront, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Destiny
had
did
their
a
one
mobile
where
app.
you can move around items, and I was like, that's super
You
neat.
can move around items, and it would also let you know. I think it let you know when
Xur
Xur was around.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
I mean, yeah. And then from what I gathered, what I thought was like it would showcase, because you know how the store would shuffle every time you would either log in or every 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, if it was locked down to actual time to the server, if it was actually telling you, hey, every 2 hours these items are up, and you check your phone and like, ooh, buy that, and then, or sell all these items through your phone at a quicker pace, and then buy the item you're wanting, and then wait another 2 hours.
Another one I enjoyed, and this was back when Square Enix had it because they actually knew what the fuck they were doing.
The Hitman.
Yeah, the Hitman one.
Yeah.
There was a Hitman app that would let you know when you had elusive targets, and even let you watch the entire breakdown assignment video, and had an active countdown. And I loved that.
Yeah.
I didn't delete the app until I realized that they weren't using it anymore for 2. So I'm here for Borderlands 3.
I am also.
Yeah, let's do it. Like I said, I'll get it on Xbox. Now, do you want to dive into the console stuff, or do you want to do some of the smaller things first?
Yeah, let's talk about this hunk of garbage, because I honestly like the specs, I just don't like the price tag.
Yeah, you go ahead and start with this.
Okay. The PlayStation 5 has been, as far as straight up announced, as far as what it's going to entail. It will have a lot of different upgrades. It handles VR better. It is PS4 backwards compatible. God, I'd hope so, considering it handles all the PS4 games at its strongest. It even up-details them, such as to 8K graphics. Even to games that only support 4K, it kind of up-renders them a little bit with a small patch. And it makes it look good with an SSD because it loads like instant. Fast traveling from one side of the map to the other in Spider-Man went from 13 seconds on a PS4 Pro to a diminished 0.25 seconds on a PS5 prototype. I mean, those specs, it's strong, I have to admit. But I don't know if I want to spend another $600 on this glorified PlayStation 4. Nothing is really, I mean, it's very strong. It is 8-core CPU. It's got Ryzen, I think a Threadripper that's made specifically for this. It has a custom GPU that's for it. To be strong and to say it's going to be 8K supported and all that, who's got an 8K TV?
That's where I come in. So you told me about all of this, and we've heard anywhere from $600 at $599. So $600, fuck it, it's $1 difference. Let's all be honest. So we've heard from anywhere from $600 to $800 for this console.
Yeah.
Nothing's confirmed yet, but these are the prices that we've heard, and all of which are higher than what the 4 was. Now, you're telling me 8K, which means I have to go get a TV that can handle 8K.
And 8K TVs are not cheap.
And then you're telling me the 3D audio thing. So, okay, that's great, but if I only have my 8K how much? Sorry, I got a little loud there.
$400 for a 4K TV, but if you want the 8K TV, yeah, you're going to spend about $5,000.
So $5,000 for the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're expecting me to be able to go and afford the sound system to be able to support their 3D sound crap.
Yes, that is correct.
So that's probably another couple grand out the door. Plus the anywhere from $600 to $800 price tag on this fucking console.
You are correct.
And then I have to still be able to buy games.
Yeah, you are correct.
So all I'm hearing is I'm not buying a PlayStation 5.
At this point in time, you are correct.
So, because, I mean, none of this speaks to me. Everything that makes the PlayStation 5 worth having, I'd have to spend more money than I have to spend to use.
Correct.
Like, don't go through and put something on your console that no one has the ability to use. And I shouldn't say no one, because there are people out there that own 8K TVs.
Yeah, there are people who put down payments on these
But-
from like RC Williams or some stuff.
You can't tell me
RC
enough
Riley's?
people out there own 8K TVs that it's become a selling point for your PlayStation. You're not going to sell millions of consoles just because people can use the 8K. Because millions of people don't have 8K TVs.
You're right, but I mean, it is of technology right now. It's the now.
But then, furthermore, so PlayStation 4 games are supposed to work
And run better.
My question is,
Go for it.
anything digital I own that is PlayStation, PlayStation 2, or PlayStation 3, because I do own some, do those play on the 5? Or, and if so, do my digital ownership of them cross over to the 5?
I think similar architecture making cross-generational support much easier. There will still be physical copies of games to buy, not just downloads, although Sony has yet to reveal if these will be Blu-ray discs or something more exotic. The company is also promising when the PS5 rolls around, it'll be a slower transition with multiple new games releasing for both the PS4 and 5, at least at the start. I don't know.
So, we need more information at this point. Yes, this was something you mentioned before, was the thing for a PlayStation VR headset.
It upgrades it.
Which is fucking phenomenal, except for the fact that I don't own shit for it, because most of the games out there I don't want to own.
Except for the Batman one.
The Batman one, which is a $10 game, so I'm not buying an $800 console to make a $10 game better.
You're correct.
So, I mean, I while we're on the subject of this, we're going to talk about one more thing. I'm already against the idea of the next generation of consoles, because I'm barely using this generation's to its potential. And that's not just because of me, but that's because of also what they're releasing for it. How many things actually push the PlayStation 4 to its brink?
I'd say a fair few handfuls.
Okay. So why do we need the 5?
Just to say
shouldn't my HK TV just make my games look better without the console having to do a bunch of extra stuff? I'm sure the console doing the extra stuff makes them look even better.
Oh, probably.
But
it's more along the lines of this is what the future holds. It's basically saying
the future holds me not playing video games much longer.
I mean, you got to figure they're still going to make PS4 games because the graphics.
A little bit.
You're right, for a little bit
until they decide they're not selling enough units on the 5 and they just start releasing them for the 4. I mean, we've seen it happen for 3 consoles now. 3 PlayStations. We've seen it happen on the Xbox.
Oh, you mean the other way around, where it's not selling enough 4 stuff, so they move up to the 5.
Yeah. So, they want to sell more 5s, so they stop releasing 4 games on the 4.
Oh, okay, I get you. I kind of like how they did with the Vita.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they wanted to, they aren't selling enough. They weren't selling enough PlayStation 4s, so they stopped releasing new games on the 3.
I get you.
So
they forced you into it.
Yeah, they forced you into it because it starts becoming, I want to play this game. It's only coming out on the next generation console. So I have to go buy the next generation console or I don't get to play this game. Yeah. Now, Xbox just announced the console. This is their full digital, no disc drive console. It's just another Xbox One. I do not understand this.
No, but I'm right behind you. I don't really understand it because there are some people who are like, I like having a physical library, such as yourself. You do enjoy having your physical library where you can just look at your stuff.
I like being able to look at my stuff, but we'll put that to the side.
Okay.
And we'll look at it this way.
Okay.
You're asking me to go out and buy what I think has a $300 to $400 price tag.
Yeah. It's supposed to be cheaper then because the disc tray is apparently the most expensive piece in that entire...
Which is bullshit.
It is.
I mean, it's got hard drives, motherboards, graphics cards. It's got other things that make it far more expensive.
You are correct.
But so it's supposed to be this digital only platform, with the concept being that anything you own digitally on Xbox crosses over. Anything you own physically on Xbox, you have to rebuy. So it only works for people who don't already own anything on Xbox, because otherwise there's games you're leaving on the table you're not going to play anymore.
Yeah, and also you had made this point as we were building it up. If you want to purchase a game physically through GameStop, used copy, you're spending $8 to $10.
Yeah, so the one I used, for example, I did this on Twitter too. So, The Division, the first one, Tom Clancy's The Division, is currently an $8 game at GameStop. if I go to buy it digitally on Xbox, is a $59.99 game.
That doesn't make sense.
So I don't think this is anything about, oh, it makes the console cheaper. Oh, it runs better using digital versus disc, because we have to fully download the discs anyways. So no, all. All Xbox discs, you have to download the entire game to the console.
Okay.
So we're already going full digital. The disc is just a proof of purchase, basically. And then you have to keep putting the disc in to prove that you still own it. So Xbox already... this is... Okay, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. Because I love Xbox and Microsoft, but I know that they're screwing us right now. The concept is we're going to have to pay whatever they ask us to pay on the games. There's no longer going to be cheaper versions. We're SOL on that.
But then there was the argument that I made of when they released this thing, you got to figure some people are in the same mindset of you, thinking that this is going to be expensive. So you have to figure Microsoft might actually bring down digital prices. Not on new games, mind you, but on older ones. They might actually bring down the numbers, because it's like, this game's been out for 2+ years. Let's bring down the numbers so that way we can actually start selling more units.
But we also have to worry about return policies already. Look at what people are dealing with over on PlayStation, where technically PlayStation doesn't have to do any of the returns on what's it called? The one that's Anthem.
Anthem?
They're choosing to because they don't want the backlash, but per their terms and services, they don't have to.
They changed that.
That's good.
Yeah, and now it's 14 days, less than 12 hours of playtime. You may return it for any way, shape, or form. Okay.
So, the next point I have to make is, when the Xbox One was announced, there was one thing they announced that people fucking flipped about. And that was, when you buy a game from GameStop, or from anywhere, it's basically going to come with a thing that once you've used that game, no one else can.
Yeah, they had to change that.
You weren't going to be able to let your friends borrow your game. You weren't going to be able to sell them to GameStop for GameStop to sell them as used. And they changed that. But this is basically doing it just on a digital platform. They're launching a full digital platform because there's no way you can share a digital game without giving someone your login.
You're correct.
And that's basically just a workaround for it.
That is.
So you're going to have to pay whatever price they ask. And yeah, you're right. They'll probably put some stuff on sale. But we're also going to see games that sell well that never drop in price.
Then that means that if it sells well, then why drop? But I said I'm with you. I'm just giving you the other alternative.
And then there's furthermore I don't know what the return policy on Xbox is, but there's the potential of the return policy. There's the price. There's the not being able to share games with people, and then there's the fact that it just looks like a fucking Xbox.
Yeah, but
everyone's like, "Oh, it's sleeker because the tray's gone." Like, no,
not really.
No, it looks like an Xbox. And there's nothing special about this thing. And if I'm going full digital, what happens when I run out of space? I have to do an external, just like I do on my regular Xbox.
You're correct.
Okay, fine. But without the disc tray, how are you not able to increase the hard drive space? Oh, because you're selling hard drives and you'd like people to have to buy bigger hard drives. Yeah. The entire thing is a cash grab.
Yes and no. There are some people who don't like discs. There are some
people... They don't have to buy the disc on the regular Xbox. They can buy a regular Xbox and not buy discs still.
Okay, a cheaper Xbox then, because this is supposed to be a cheaper model.
Okay, pull up the prices. I'm curious at the price difference.
Okay.
I want to see Xbox. What is this one? The digital one is the digital one on the same level? Yeah, as the 1S. Okay, so the 1S digital is a 1 terabyte. Yeah.
Digital Dreamer bundle, but it doesn't. But it doesn't. Does it showcase price?
Of course not, because they're being crazy.
Haha.
250. 259. How much did you pay for yours?
On Black Friday, $300.
Okay, so you're saving $50, and you are getting a much bigger hard drive than what yours came with, right?
No,
yours came with 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
So you're saving $50.
$50, and I'm getting Sea of Thieves and Forza 3.
Sea of Thieves really isn't worth it. I'm gonna be honest.
The new DLC I've heard is actually not that bad. I know. I'm like you. I halfway shrugged.
But I mean, if I'm already paying for Game Pass, you're giving me shit I already have. I have both of these.
As a new consumer, Quincey.
So this literally only speaks to new consumers.
You're correct.
How many people out there is this really going to win over, though? As a PC gamer, are you going to go, oh, wait, a digital Xbox? Fuck my PC. Let me go buy that.
You're right. I will say that is a thing. But then on the open and closed hand, let's say I didn't buy it on Black Friday, and this was a good alternative.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was
But
like,
you still can't borrow anything that I own physically. You'd still have to go out and buy. And you have borrowed physical games of mine.
you are correct.
So
You're right. Okay.
also with the backwards compatibility thing that they're doing with original Xbox and Xbox 360 games, I have games that I'm able to play that I still own that I won't be able to play here
Because
without
it's
buying them digital, and I had to pay their price. And let's be honest, sometimes they're $10, sometimes they're $30
You're
for
right.
a game that came out 10 years ago.
You're right. I will say that, but I guess this is strictly then for new consumers.
Yes. I mean, go ahead and do it, Xbox. And if it doesn't sell, then maybe you'll learn something.
I mean, maybe
And I'm not saying it's not going to sell. It may sell.
it may. I mean, you also have to figure Game Pass is still their push for it because you got to figure when you purchase this, Game Pass is what, $50 a year, 60.
I pay $10 a month.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so $120 a year.
But they're currently doing a sale 3 months for $1 if it's your first time.
Okay, well then we'll say 3 months for $1, then every month after that, so that's 9 months, so $91. $91 for a year.
Mhm.
That's not too bad. That's technically a game and a half full price on natural.
So you could, for the price of what you paid for a console and then some, for a year, have a bunch of games to play and have a console.
Yeah. So I'm not against this idea because of new consumer.
Because a new consumer. But it really only works for new consumer. And go back up really quick. I want to see one more thing. Okay. It doesn't come with a headset.
Oh.
Scroll down. Let me see the box. It doesn't come with a headset. So how much of that $50 is a disc tray, and how much of that $50 is a disc tray and a headset?
There's no.
And it only comes in white.
Yeah, I would prefer it in another color.
And it comes with the white and black controller.
Digital, pre-install games, pre-install new games, all digital. Does not play physical discs.
Mm-hmm. And does not come with a headset.
No, it doesn't.
And does it show the bottom? Let me see the controller. I want to see if it shows the bottom of the controller. They're hiding the bottom of the controller. Oh, this one here. Scroll down.
Huh?
You can see the bottom of the controller, and it's not showing any headphone ports.
I think it's right behind it, Quincy.
No. It's supposed to be right there.
Quincy, I don't think they're going to get rid of the...
No. What I'm saying is the controllers that come with the base Model 3 Xbox One cannot use headphone jacks.
Also, they do have the X variant.
Oh, they have the black one? Oh, that looks kind of ugly. I would have liked that shape, but in black, versus that one
in the black. Yeah.
They've got two different ones.
I still think that there is a port at the bottom because that's the new
Hopefully.
controller.
I'm not saying there isn't a port. I'm
just
saying
can't see it.
they're hiding what the port is. It looks like you could change the image.
Right there.
Okay, then fine. It looks like it uses a headphone jack.
Fucker.
My concern is that when the Xbox One came out, the jack on it is a jack that you can only get on the headset that comes with the Xbox. So what you had to do is you had to buy a converter or an adapter, or buy a new controller like I did.
Yeah, fuck that.
Go back down. It looked like you were able to switch photos on one of these. Right here.
Yeah, this was the woman.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you can see it a little bit on that one, but
trailer. Fuck you.
I don't know. I'm not here for this at all.
I am neutral because it's meant for new consumers, not for us.
You're right. It is meant for new consumers based off of everything we just discussed. However, if this does well, how long before whatever comes out after the Xbox One, whatever replaces the Xbox One and causes it to have to get the new one to play new games, like the PlayStation 5 will, what are the odds it's going to go full digital?
I mean, we just got to either adapt or they'll adapt because one of us is going to give, and it's probably going to be them over us.
It's always us.
It isn't. They had to break to give to allow us to be able to sell our games.
Good point.
They've had to break.
I will give you that one.
Yeah, they've had to break because of the weird headphone jacks.
No, that's still a thing.
Well, to allow us to with the newer controllers.
They did it on the S and the X.
Yeah, the
but
newer.
If you go and buy a straight base one, it's the crap.
It's the crap one. But they don't sell those anymore.
Yeah,
those are rare. And then you have specialty externals. You no longer have to buy their special ones.
Yeah.
You can now buy
pretty much anyone.
Yeah.
Now, the one other thing we talked about that we haven't brought up yet is why is it $60 for a physical copy and $60 for a digital copy? When I know that figured into that $60 I'm paying for that physical copy is whatever GameStop, Walmart, Target, anyone there's making, plus the disc, plus the case, plus that paper sleeve that goes to the front, spine, and back. That's a lot of money that they're not making, that now when you go digital, they get all of.
You're right. You are correct.
Why am I still paying $60? There's a lot less going into this, and I'm paying more.
I think it's the conformity that we've already paid that much.
Well, it's like what I was telling you. Like, how long have we been paying $60 for games? A very long time.
Since SNES days.
To the point now that plenty of games come out that are not $60 games, that are not worth $60, that we would never want to pay $60 for, but they come with a $60 price tag because that's what games cost. It's just been determined games cost $60. And like I was saying, at 1 terabyte, that's fine and dandy, but they fit 1 terabytes in ones with trays. Why is it I can't get a 2 terabyte in this thing now that it's got more space?
Yeah, this is what I'm reading some of the YouTube comments. They're saying I paid less for my Xbox One S with a disk drive. 2 terabyte, a solid state drive would justify the price, and they're pretty much right. Awesome. I would like to pay more for less functionality. Like, what the fuck?
And we looked here. This is the launch trailer that Xbox did, and he just checked. It's got a 2,000 thumbs up,
1,000 thumbs
and
down.
1,000 thumbs down.
So that means there are some people who are okay with this idea, and some people that are not.
Yeah, people are sheeple.
Either sheeple or people who are compliant with the idea of.
And here's another one: 1 terabyte, LOL. All digital consoles should be 2 terabyte. Because furthermore, think about the amount of space that all your games are going to take.
You are right.
That terabyte is going to go quick. I have a terabyte and a half downstairs, and I'm out. I've been out for a long time. I have to delete shit all the time.
I know,
and that's mismanagement on my side.
I ridicule for it.
But at the same when you're going full digital, it's going to happen. Xbox One Sad Edition.
Sad Edition. So, as said, I only bought it for the hard exclusives that were at the time.
That's why I have my PlayStation.
Hard exclusive. Yeah, you got it for Spider-Man.
I got it for Spider-Man, and then when I heard Spider-Man was coming out exclusive, I went, I've got to get this.
And then
however, I've got to find other reasons to get this as well.
Yeah,
and that's what got my foot in the door. And then I went, oh, I want to play Uncharted. Oh, I want to play God of War.
And then Vampire. No, Vampire you have
on Xbox.
Yeah, okay.
But and then it kind of started branching into the fact that there's a lot of older stuff that PlayStation's doing that Xbox isn't doing available, and there's a lot of older stuff Xbox is doing that PlayStation isn't doing. But furthermore, I'm a Ratchet and Clank fan, so there was almost the entire Ratchet and Clank series is available. There's very few that aren't available in some fashion, some form. And normally it's the ones that went PSP to PlayStation 2, and I understand why they aren't available because they weren't even good then. Yeah. So we'll move on to, you want to talk about
DLC news.
I'm
a big fan of Persona 5, and Joker comes to Smash Bros. Ultimate April 17th. If you haven't already seen the news, this update is huge. It comes with Joker, a really neat map that plays a lot of good music from Persona 3, 4, and 5 that changes depending on what goes on in the world. I thought Joker was going to be this really weird thing. I was like, how are you going to bring in an actual gun? Because you got to figure Bayonetta's got those boot guns. Fox has a laser gun, but Joker has a fucking M1911, just pap, 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 pap. I'm like, oh, that's an actual gun. And they did it well. They played him off really well.
This just means people are going to be shooting Pikachu, and that kind of makes me feel sad.
You got to figure everyone's doing it.
It doesn't make me feel any less sad. In fact,
Diddy Kong's doing it with fucking peanuts.
I still feel bad. Poor little guy.
Fucking rat.
I haven't played any Persona. I have no experience with Persona. I know no Persona at all. So this isn't like super exciting for me, but I understand why people are excited. Yeah. You've got the trailer up right now, and it looks cool. It looks interesting. It looks like they put time and work into it. Now, any clue how much this DLC was?
For just Joker is $5.99.
Okay, that's not too bad. I would have done $5, but that's not too bad.
Yeah, $5.99 for just Joker. But if you get the entire character pass, which is the 5 characters, you save $1 off of each character for $25.
Okay, and I'm assuming getting one character or getting all the characters unlocks these stages.
You are correct.
Okay.
And if one of your friends owns it, you can still play on it. It's
Oh,
not
that's
gonna,
cool.
Yeah, it's not
That's
gonna
one thing that always drove me
And-
nuts with like Call of Duty, where you would get kicked out of a server because you didn't own the map.
Yeah, and whenever Joker wins, he does his victory running, and I'm like, oh, and it plays the fucking victory song, the I was like, oh, that's so good.
I'm here for it. I mean, I like decent DLCs for games
And-
that aren't to continue the story that you should have just included the full game.
Yeah.
So when it's character DLCs for something like a fighting game, I see no reason not to be here for it. And a $5.99 price tag is not bad. Like I said, I would have done $6, but a $5.99 price tag is not bad at all.
And they're adding just straight up just new content for Super Smash Brothers with this new update. It is adding a new video editing, mild editing software where you
Okay.
can splice up a video of your best movements, that sort of thing. You know, make a compilation, and you can share it to the Nintendo Network.
Okay.
And you might be able to tweet it out from there. I'm not 100% sure on that aspect. It even has a stage builder, so that way you can make your own maps.
Okay,
That
that's
act
cool.
of it has like an actual Mario Maker-esque, so you can move things that give like a slight tilt, or if you hit it enough times, it does something. It has black holes that'll cause you to go across the
Now,
screen.
what is this here? I'm seeing something on the bottom of the video. It says available April 17th, 2019 for 75 cents each.
Oh, these are the hats and all that.
Oh,
that
for
come with it.
your characters.
For your Mii fighters.
Okay.
It comes with the Tails, Knuckles, Persona 3 antagonist or protagonist, Persona 4 protagonist, and a Teddy hat, and I think one more hat. Fucking Morgana hat.
I think this is kind of cool too that you've got the Mii fighter, something you can create something that's worth having things for, because it's like we have the avatars over on Xbox, and you can buy stuff for them, and I just never see the point because we had Kingdom of Keyflings was the only thing we really played as our avatars in, and excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't see the point. So this looks cool. I like this. This looks good.
Yeah, and you can share content. You can share your maps and your new videos to the Nintendo Network, and probably even tweet them out, maybe, because Nintendo's never been against tweeting. So I'm sure that they'll be able to share your content through Twitter. So I mean, continuing.
This dropped today, right?
The 17th. So yes.
Yeah, today.
Oh yeah, shit.
Cool.
And so, keeping on with the DLC, Jump Force DLC characters. I was not a big fan of Jump Force, but don't get me wrong, looking at these characters, it's great to see that they're still adding content.
Yeah, your issue wasn't that the content wasn't there. Your issue was the functionality of the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seemed very clunky and heavy-handed. It looked like fun, but looks were very deceiving. They're adding a whole truckload. They're adding Seto Kaiba. They're adding Hitsugaya from Bleach. They're adding Grimjo Jaegeriak, as I like to call him, from Bleach. They're adding All Might. They're adding Explodey Boy Bakugo. They're adding Biscuit Kruger from Hunter x Hunter. They're adding Boo from Dragon Ball Z. They're adding in Madara Uchiha from Naruto. And they're adding in... God, if I can never remember his name properly. Trafalgar?
D-Water.
D-Water Law.
From One Piece.
One Piece.
Yeah, I mean, how do they have a price tag on this one?
I think it is 30.
Oh, that's the character pass. Those
Yeah.
who bought the standard edition purchase for the character pass.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's not the single DLC.
Wait, those who bought the standard edition can purchase the character pass for 30, but if you have the ultimate, you get it for free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So, well, if this is all the character passes, I feel like 30 is way too fucking high.
I mean, I don't. Maybe they'll have. I mean, this is all the DLC characters, so I mean, $30 for all this. Would you consider that fair?
I mean,
That's
okay. I don't know a lot about anime, so let's go with this. Boo, I could see being one and that pushes a little higher. Okay. How about the My Hero Academy characters, the two of them?
I like All Might. I love All Might.
Okay, so All Might I could see because he's kind of the point of the show.
Actually, Bakugo has a pretty good arc where he turns from his broody self into an actual character that's like, if you keep scowling at everyone, you're not going to learn anything. I'm like, yes, perfect.
Okay.
Character growth.
I have to mention, one of my neighbors or something turned on like a fucking air compressor or something. Hopefully the mics aren't
Generator.
picking it up. We're
It
very sorry.
It is
if
not.
they
I
are.
checked it.
Okay.
when you were looking down at your phone?
I was looking at my notes just to be on the fair side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I've paid a lot for game passes or for whatever you want to call it, DLCs and season passes and whatnot. I just feel like to be calling it a character pass and then this is what you drop. I don't know. I feel like you could have given me a little bit more content. When you stop and think about how much I paid to get the full 3 pretty decent DLCs for Spider-Man. And
I concur with that. I am right beside you on that because that means that was content that wasn't finished, but you get it at ease. You don't have to pay out the ass for it.
And the one thing I will say about that is that there is one all 3 basically kind of wrap up part of the main story, which kind of pissed me off. They should have been separate. So, I mean, it's a fighting game. Characters is all you're really going to be able to get as DLCs anyways, other than stages and stuff like that.
$30
I personally would have... I mean, they should sell them separately, too, because there may be people out there who just don't care about certain characters here.
Like Grim Joe Yuriak.
Yeah, see, like, you don't care about that one.
No,
so, but you want the My Hero Academy ones. I mean... You're not going to be upset that you got him, but if you go and spend $10 instead buying both My Hero Academy characters, $5 each, would you do that over the 30?
Still a little steep, considering the game itself is a little bit steep for what it is.
Yeah. Well, that brings us back to the $60 fucking price tag.
Yeah, so 60 plus the 10, that's 70. I might as well get the freaking gold edition for 90.
Wait a minute, hold on. The game's roster will expand by 9 additional characters through DLC with the first batch coming in May. So when they say first batch...
Is this the first batch?
But that's all 9. So is it going to be part of it in May? So you're paying $30 to get, what, half of these characters?
I don't know.
That's weird.
The way that this is worded seems very strange, but at the same time, I still feel like this is too much for a game that isn't getting... Number one, it's not getting Evo play. It is not going to Evo. It is a fighting tournament that always comes to Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I can remember... Like, I can actually bring up a fucking hype moment from Evo 2006?
Is it Wombo Combo?
No. I think it's 2006. No. But even still, I can remember seeing this. 2004, where Umehara Daigo versus Justin Wong. It was Third Strike, and they were having such a very powerful battle, and Daigo, who was playing Ken at the time, did a full parry against Chun-Li's ultimate, and just parry, just was doing it on point, because those are frame perfect parries. Then as soon as the combo was done, did an overhand punch and into a Shoryupa. I was like, holy shit. That was probably the hypest moment. Like, if I bring up this point, I want, yeah, here we go. Alternate viewpoint. Yeah, hold on. And then, like, yeah, watch. He'll pop the special. Pop. And then pop. And then Shoryupa. Just, if you could only hear that crowd pop.
All right, the crowd, they're doing the video he showed me. They're showing the crowd, and they're just going insane.
They are.
So I get your anger towards this. Like, you know, you're a fighting game who's supposed to be this big deal that's not going to a big competition. Yeah. And now, is that because they don't want to, or because just no one's playing it?
It's not tournament ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that means there are so many unfair advantages if you choose a certain character. It's not right. It doesn't feel good. Street Fighter 5, I don't even think is gonna be this year.
Okay, you're pulling up the...
Yeah, it's gonna be August.
It's August 2nd and August 4th. Oh, August 2nd to August 4th. Sorry.
Yes, and they always come to Mandalay Bay. Always to the Mandalay Bay. They used to have it somewhere else, but they moved it to Mandalay Bay.
It's not over at Luxor with them having that new competition.
Believe it or not, they have one at the Rio, and I'm going to be there.
Okay.
Not this Friday, but next Friday for a ARAM tournament. So if you guys are here in Vegas On the 26th, I will be at the Rio from 7 to 10. Go ahead and pre-order your ticket.
He'll be the guy with the glasses.
I'll be the dummy with the glasses and a really weird shirt, but I'm sure you'll notice me. So the roster for EVO is not Melee. It is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It is Tekken 7. It is Street Fighter 5. I thought Street Fighter was pulled.
Well, it's Arcade Edition, too.
It is Arcade Edition. Mortal Kombat 11, I thought wasn't going to be ready. Soul Calibur 6, I didn't think was going to be ready. Both of those are coming. None of the regular Blaze Blue is going to be up there, but you have Cross Tag Battle, and I'm like, that one's a little bit iffy. Now, this one's a strange one that I know a little bit of because Arc Systems does really well, but go ahead and read that for me.
Under Night in Birth X Late ST.
Yeah, it's a strange game. It is Under Night in Birth EXE regarding late. That's assumably how it's pronounced. It is a pretty good fighting game. It's got some systems. It's just not a lot of people would go out and buy a weird anime fighter game in today's times. I'm hoping it gets a lot of play during EVO, but
and then we also have Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah, and Samurai Showdown, which is the updated one, if I'm not mistaken. Let me find out because I think it's called Samurai Spirits. Oh my god, it's actually bringing up something.
It's doing a full load. So this is in August. I mean, if we want to cover it, I'm sure we could.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. I do love it. Oh my god, this is a Japanese as hell. Samurai Spirits. Yes, it is the reboot for Samurai Showdown, which is going to have the same subsystems. It'll have almost all the characters from Samurai Showdown. I'm kind of hyped for it, but
okay, I'm sorry. The one with the blue hair to the far left. I just hit the mic. Him right there. Reminds me of one of the guys from Yu Yu Hakusho during the Dark Tournament.
I mean, kind of.
Hey.
I'm pretty sure that they came first before this, but yeah, they kind of pulled some characters. Like this big guy looks like Queen of Hearts from Fist of the North Star.
Gotcha.
So I mean, they pulled hints and tides, and then you got a Hawk, and you got all these guys, and then you of course have the OG Kabuki dude. They all have blades of a sort, and they just. Yeah, it's super cool. I've enjoyed it.
I like fighting games. I just suck at them. So for me, the fighting game has to have a story that brings me into it. Otherwise, I just can't do it because how much I suck pulls me out of it.
I guess, but one that I think that I'm surprised you didn't make a mention of, Injustice 2.
Where does that on the list?
Nowhere. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
it's
well,
not.
It's been out for a while, and
but
they already do tournaments on PlayStation. So
I mean, to be fair, Cross Tag Battle's been out just as long.
Yeah. Also looking at this, let's be honest. I mean, these are all pretty big titles. Injustice 2. I mean, it's at its second game. And how big did it hit?
I would say throw it in there just because it's still tournament ready.
I don't know anyone that plays it other than me and you.
I mean,
and you only play it when you're over here.
You're right. I will say that. And Injustice 1 wasn't a great game by any way, shape, or form, but it still was EVO ready.
Yeah, I mean, I more enjoyed it for yet again the story. So
fair. I mean,
that's why I was able to get through the Injustice games was because they pulled me in the story. Maybe it's not there, not because EVO's saying no, but maybe because NetherRealm's got Mortal Kombat 11 and they want to push that because that's the new game.
Maybe
they don't want them thinking about their other projects.
You know what? I'm gonna side with you on that. But even still, 9 very great games.
So what are the prizes for something like this like?
Oh, huge.
Because I've never really been at any tournaments. So
let me see here.
I'm a loser, I know.
No, you're fine. Holy shit. Oh, right. Button mapping, converters. They
there's
actually
so many rules that things like this.
Yeah, because
you have to though.
There's people who during the Melee times at like 2013, 2014, they would have these weird controllers that had a double tap Z button, so that way they could dodge roll faster or wave dash a little easier. Mm-hmm. So that way they just double tap it and just curve, and that was like their in. And now they're like, no, you can no longer. Yeah. Yeah. Now they can't have like actual broken things.
Yeah,
you
they're
have
going to check your
They're
equipment.
going to check. Some do, some don't. I don't know if Evo does, because custom arcade
Well, it
sticks
said
are.
no hack or hacked, so they're going to be looking for something, I'm sure.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know how they're going to be able to. I don't know if they're going to do that.
More probably take it, plug it in, and see how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, that simple. I don't know. I like that, video games has a certain level of respect in the fact that there are tournaments.
Yeah.
The problem is that
I'm just gonna say that it's
I
probably
need to be
gonna
pulled in enough.
I think it's going to be $100,000.
You need to learn how to play these games better, so you can go down there and do this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I was in a preliminary back in around that time, 2013, 2014. I was doing preliminaries for Street Fighter 4, and I just got chewed out. I was not having a good time, and I was like, I got cheaped out by this 16-year-old kid that was just low blowing. And
that's also the thing. 16-year-old kid, he's got the time to sit there and play the game for 80 hours, as where
too.
We have to go to work.
You're right. But
and not to say that there aren't people our age that are able to do it too, and it's just it comes well to others, and others have the practice time, and like there's certain games that I can just it's second nature to me. I don't even have to think. I can just zone out and do it, and then there's things that just destroy me.
You're right.
Now I promised Star Wars news last week.
Yeah.
And while the event was big and had a lot of fun cosplays, some amazing Lego builds, I just don't quite have a lot to talk about. We've got a few smaller. They're not small. It just wasn't the news I was hoping for. So we've got the EA game. This is the same one that at E3 they brought in nothing except for the title. They didn't have a logo. They didn't tell us what the game was going to be about. Just that lightsabers were involved. We got a trailer and a release date for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The trailer looks amazing.
It looks like it uses the Frostbite engine,
which is great, except that it shows no gameplay at all.
None.
And so they're like, pre-order now on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, out November 15th.
On Twitter, they did say, however, something that you must be pretty excited about. Single player only, no microtransactions.
Which is great, except for the fact that they've told us no microtransactions before, just to put them in later.
They, on Twitter, even addressed that. We won't be adding them in later.
Okay. That's fine.
They're hitting all your notes right now.
That's cool. Show me gameplay.
Okay.
This is a game that they've been talking about for a couple of years.
I think they're going to probably pull at E3. I think they're going to wait till E3.
Which, that's fine, but, I mean, when's E3 again?
June.
June? So they dropped this trailer.
Let's find out.
Just wait till June to show us anything. The trailer showed us. The trailer gave you an idea of the story.
Yeah.
But the trailer did not give you an idea of the gameplay. Like I was saying, we'll sit there and watch Diablo trailers.
And it doesn't play
and
like
it looks
that.
nothing like it. But we don't expect that because we know what Diablo is like.
Yeah.
We have no idea what this game's going to be like. So you can't give us a full cinematic trailer and expect us to know what the game's like because we don't.
You're
it was
right.
just like the Watch Dogs things where everyone went and watched the Watch Dogs trailer. And then when they played the game, they're like, well, the hacking was different in the trailer. Well, the trailer was a full cinematic trailer. It wasn't gameplay.
And it said in the top left corner, this does not accurately depict what the final product
and
will
that's the
be.
mindset I went in with. So I wasn't as disappointed with Watch Dogs as everyone else was.
And the other thing is, it is Frostbite engine, so I'm holding my hopes pretty high that they're
on Frostbite. I know I've heard the engine name before.
Battlefield.
Okay.
And I think even Battlefront 2 had it.
I mean, it's a good engine then, but I mean, it's an engine that I feel
Frostbite.
Okay, so it was an engine I feel was built around multiplayer though, so seeing it going into single is interesting. Yeah, they have single player campaigns on Battlefield, but
something tells me it's going to be I'm hoping that they're aiming toward like a first person RPG like Fallout.
That's the thing though, is they had one of their other companies working on an RPG Star Wars game that they shit canned to move the content over somewhere else.
You also have to think this game is going to be released this year, November. Yeah. So they already had something.
I have a feeling it's going to be.
So when you said they canceled it, I don't think they canceled it. I think they just pulled it back.
But no, they canceled it after having already talked about this game. It was a separate project.
Then they made a move over to assets, maybe.
They said they were moving assets around to other games.
Because as said, November.
But I mean, they were talking about this game at E3 last year. So to be talking about it at E3 last year and have it still not fleshed out as to what kind of game it would be seems a little weird.
It seems a bit weird, but then at the same time, they've been releasing Star Wars games from 2015 to now. They've released 3?
No, they've released 2 in 6 years.
Oh.
They've had the contract for 6 years, and they've released 2 Battlefront games, and that's it.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
That's
their contract's
sloppy.
up in 4 years.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Battlefront 2. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that's
And they've canceled 2 or 3 projects.
okay.
So
I just hope that
I just want to see the gameplay.
yeah, give us some
And
working
hopefully
motion.
they have an actual playable version at E3. I won't be at E3,
No, of course
but
not.
there will be people there who are ready to rip you apart. So hopefully they will have a playable version at E3.
Yeah.
Now, if you go back, I also saw that they got Havoc running on this, which I like Havoc.
I know this is what people are searching for.
Oh, that's what people are searching for.
Yeah,
Okay,
Havoc Engine. Yeah, Havoc Engine is good.
Yeah.
It's meant for destructible worlds, but I don't think both of the engines at once would.
I
Handle.
have a feeling this is going to be a lot in the vein of Force Awakens, which is not bad.
Oh no, I loved Force Awakens,
but I would have loved an open world RPG.
I'm putting dollars to bills that there's someone in right now in the halfway Disney, halfway LucasArts that is saying this is going to go the way we're wanting it to.
But they're not doing anything with it.
I know, but I'm saying someone over there saying they're doing good. I'm gonna hold my hopes high.
Skeptic for now.
Wait for gameplay. Because you got, I hope the 6 writers are listed in the reveal because I accidentally said I've wrapped this up. I don't know. Story was important to Respawn. I think they do a good job of introducing various narratives. I don't know. I'm hoping that when E3 rolls around, we get a lot of good trailers for a lot of games that we haven't heard of yet.
I'm just wondering how much we're going to see of this game versus how much we're going to see of their new Battlefield. And we know what Battlefield's going to be. It's going to be another war game. They're all the same. They just change your perks and they change the guns and the maps. I mean,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is of that. So I would say that it is in that line of saying, what do we have to offer? Oh, this is what you have to offer. Okay, do we like that? I don't know. We'll have to play it first.
Yeah.
We play it, we get disappointed, rinse and repeat.
We got a couple months for them to possibly show us more, and then we have what should be the big reveal. If they don't reveal it at E3, I've got no faith in this game because that means they're hiding it.
You're right. But
what are they gonna do? Release it at the other PAX? I mean, no. E3 is the place where you need to show this.
You're right,
especially after the buffoonery that was last E3.
Oh God, yeah.
But we'll move on to happier Star Wars news.
Yeah.
The Rise of Skywalker. We finally have the name for the final of the current trilogy, which is supposed to be the final trilogy.
So the trilogy of trilogies.
Yes. Rise of Skywalker. Mark Hamill took Twitter to be like, who's the Skywalker? Is it Kylo? Is it Rey? Is it this? Is it that? And he's like, who's the Skywalker? And he's kind of joking around, and I'm like, well, technically it is Kylo. He's got Skywalker blood in him. Spoilers. But I don't think that's what the title's referencing.
No. But
I'm excited for this. It doesn't have a release date yet. They're thinking somewhere between the 25th and the 20th of December. It is going to be December though, because that's supposed to be the release time for these movies. And that was the whole thing. Originally they had a different scheduling that they kind of fucked up, and they shouldn't have fucked it, where they were doing a Star Wars movie every December. And it started with Force Awakens, and then it went into Rogue One, and then it should have been Last
Solo.
Jedi, and then it should have been Solo.
Mm.
But instead, Solo was released in like February or March or something like that, and it kind of fucked up the whole thing, and I don't know. But we're getting Rise of Skywalker. I'm excited for it. The trailer looked good. Lando's back in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. I'm excited as shit for that. And I know that Williams is excited for it. He's all hyped about it.
he actually, there was a still image of, I guess, a scene during Solo, spoilers, of young Lando and young Han. Lando goes up to Han saying, I'm taking back my ship, and Han says, over my dead body. And then it shows the next scene of him in the trailer behind the Millennium Falcon going, woo! I was like, oh, too soon or too late?
No, it's fine, I think. A reminder that Billy D. Williams is looking that damn good at 82.
That's a stagger.
Now, I follow him on Twitter. He goes to the gym a lot, too.
Yeah, that's a stagger.
So like
you followed Lou Ferrigno, and I was surprised on how well
he looks. Yeah, Lou Ferrigno's looking good.
I was like, damn.
So I'm all here for it. I'm hoping to see this one in theaters. I sadly have missed the last 2 in theaters. I saw the first 2 in theaters, did not see the next 2 in theaters. So I've seen Awakens and Rogue One, but not Last Jedi or Solo. So I want to go see this. It'll be the final for the trilogy, and it'll be my goal to see it. Even if I can't see it on release, I'd like to see it at some point.
In theater.
And I have to say, I have far more respect for Star Wars fans than I do for Marvel fans, because the only spoiler I got for Last Jedi was because I read an article that warned about spoilers, and I said, fuck it, and read it anyways. Mm-hmm. I did not get any spoilers for Solo. Still don't. And did not get any spoilers for Last Jedi. Still don't, because I have not watched them, because I am just too fucking busy. As where I know the entire plot and fucking death and everything for Infinity War.
Yep.
And I knew it weeks after opening.
Yep.
So, Star Wars fans, thank you. And please keep it up. But sadly, that's pretty much all the news we had. Because, I mean, for Star Wars it is. I could go into how great the cosplays looked and how great the Lego builds were. But you guys gotta go look at those things yourself instead. So, I got a few last-minute things here, and then we can move on to our discussion. Marvel just announced that they're going to be doing a one-shot comic that is Wolverine versus Blade. I don't know how that fight would even last. Don't get me wrong, I love Blade and he's a badass, but I mean, adamantium claws, unkillable man, takes out Daywalker. I mean, it's pretty simple.
I'm curious on, number one, why they're having the conflict. I'm curious on how that goes, and 2, how does adamantium work against a vampire?
It would still cut him in half. Huh? It would still cut him in half.
It would still cut him in half, but would he still be able to
fix himself? I've never seen Blade take severe damage like that. I mean, I've seen him get stabbed and shot, also, but I've never seen him lose a limb.
Okay, and would Blade, if he gets stabbed in the heart with adamantium, how would that react?
That I don't know also. We've seen vampires in his universe lose limbs. They grow new ones.
Yeah.
But he's Daywalker. He's not
an actual.
He's not a normal vampire. It'll be a weird one. I'm probably going to get this.
Yeah. I still need to keep going with my Punisher and Daredevil run.
I don't know if that's still going.
I don't think it's still going, but I think it's finished, but I still need to pick up
the last of it.
4 through 6.
So, the other thing in free-to-play stuff is from now to the 23rd to celebrate the Storm Rising, Overwatch is free on all platforms.
I like this little tiny campaign that they're running. It's a PvE version, and so it allows you to get, like, if you're brand new to Overwatch, it's actually pretty good training, because it actually allows you to hop in with 3 other people that will play. It's all random champions. And you go in and you just fight robots it's a small campaign that plays just like the online variant. So you don't have to go up against people who know your abilities and all that. It's just going in and taking care of robots.
See, I haven't played Overwatch, and the main thing that stopped me from playing Overwatch is it's a full online battle game.
Yep.
And it just doesn't speak to me.
That's fine. That's fine and fair. Like, don't get me wrong. I was in it. I was just in it just before you picked me up.
Yeah, I would love to sit down and check out the whole story, because I know that they've got a good story running, and they've got the different, videos that they'll upload when they're continuing the story on, and there's a talking gorilla, so that's always cool.
Winston, he likes peanut butter,
and he's not Gorilla Grodd, so he's not bad. So
to our knowledge,
So I mean, I've got nothing against Overwatch. It's not my cup of tea, because I don't want to go online and deal with a bunch of randos and.
You're right.
If I had a team to roll with, I'd be a little bit more interested. But even so, it's like, what are you running on PC?
Mm-hmm.
So we still wouldn't be able to play together. I don't think it did cross to console, did it? No.
I don't.
So we'll move on to the next thing, which is Beetlejuice is going to Broadway. So I love Beetlejuice. I even like the cartoon.
I like the cartoon.
I don't understand why it's going to Broadway. They do this now. This has become a weird thing where they take famous movies and they make them into Broadway shows. And I remember that Broadway used to be a big deal, and that you really had to try to get your original thing made. I mean, look at what Hamilton went through to become what it is. That's completely original. and now Beetlejuice is on Broadway. And not to take anything away from Tim Burton or maybe the people that are working on this, but I don't understand how Beetlejuice ended up on Broadway. It's kind of like, how did Spider-Man end up on Broadway? And I am a diehard Spider-Man fan. You look around this room and there's Spider-Man shit everywhere. And I don't understand how Spider-Man ended up on Broadway. And most people will tell you it was not good.
Oh.
So this is just weird to me.
No, I mean, but I would. My instinctive for that, as far as the arts, is don't knock it until you actually get a chance to see it.
Yeah, I just don't see myself flying to New York to go
Oh, no,
watch.
no. Of course not.
You know?
But then again, it's the idea of that has you a bit wary.
Yeah, it's just odd. And then I've got one last thing. This kind of harkens back to what we were talking about earlier with the consoles. Oh, you've got some images. He pulled up some images of Broadway Beetlejuice. I mean, the sets look great. They're very Tim Burton. They pulled things from the movies.
I like that.
You know, I try not to
Blacklight.
get hung up on what the actors look like, because it's not so much what the actors look like when it comes to Broadway. It's what they sound like. And
It's how they portray the characters.
it's how they deliver it. It's looking like it's the movie. Like, I find it so weird. And what's the music gonna be? You know?
I mean, I wouldn't know. I would have to
see if you can pull it up.
pull it up.
Oh no, I don't think there's a trailer.
There's
but
a trailer. That means there has to be something with it.
I was more thinking find a list of if they've listed the songs or something.
No,
Because I'm assuming they're gonna do the I can't remember the name of the song, but there's the song that they have at the dinner party, the one where they all end up dancing to it because they're temporarily possessed and everything. I'm assuming that would be in it, but yeah, that one. But past that, they've got to come up with completely original songs for Beetlejuice. But at the same time, you're going to want it all to be very Danny Elfman-like, so it fits the music.
So that makes me wonder: did Danny Elfman help with this?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. He's become a composer. I mean, he's a huge composer now.
We'll listen to it when we're done with this.
We'll check it out.
Yeah.
Now, like I mentioned, this thing kind of harkens back to what we were talking earlier with returns. After years of fucking us over, GameStop has finally changed their return policy. Starting with Days Gone, you will have 48 hours after launch of the game or after purchase of the game to return it for the simple reason of you did not like it, which you will get the full $59.99 back as store credit. So that part still kind of sucks, but now you can put it towards maybe something you'll enjoy or trying something else. This is the first game that'll do it, and they're going to do it with more games later on. Excuse me, sorry. The idea is that between the 25th and the 28th, you can buy the game and have 48 hours to return it. That gives you a good chunk of time as long as you have the time. So this is good and bad, because if you buy the game but don't have the time to play it and you don't play it till a week later, you're SOL. If you buy the game and you have time to hit it right then and there and decide you don't like it, you're good. And this is going to become their regular policy after this. It's just this is the game they're launching on. They had to set it up somewhere with what game. This is the game they're launching it on. And no. I would really like to see GameStop fix themselves, because let's be honest, they're pretty much our only option. Yes, we can buy from Amazon and Walmart and the digital and whatnot. But if we want to have some kind of reward program for the insane amount of money we spend on video games, they're our only option.
I have no added comments for anything GameStop oriented.
Yeah, you don't like GameStop.
I do not like GameStop.
So that's the end of the news. So we can move on to today's discussion.
Today's discussion is something super nerdy today. It is beyond nerdy today. We are talking D&D. What is your favorite class as far as D&D is oriented?
So I've done very little playing, but I like Warlocks because you get magic. You get to experience some dark, crazy shit.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to be bad either. And then there's also the fact that they can still use weapons, and they've got it straight up says when you're looking at them in the player handbook that they can do hand to hand. So they're not just pushovers, but they're also magically inclined. It's not like when you're playing. I think it's sorcerers that are kind of squishy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a nice medium, and plus because their powers run off of charisma, you want to sink them as many points into charisma as you can, which then just makes them charming. So
charming And charming.
How about you?
Me, I'm going to go for Paladin. Because they get a lot of really good buffs at the start. You can wear heavy mail or just straight up plate and just be an untouchable being at level 1 with a stern. If you have the right race, you can have a stern 19 armor class at level 1.
I mean, that's great.
That's great. And you also have Divine Retribution, which anyone who wants to make an attack toward any of your friends within 10 feet of you, you can make that creature cause a disadvantaged attack against them. You may be able to do, with certain types of paladins, you can do Lay on Hands, which gives them a small healing pool for quick of ease as a regular action, or even out of action by spending 5 of those Lay on Hands pool to cure you of poison or any other disability that is quite lesser restoration can do. Clerics can do that, but paladins can get in there and help.
Yeah, and I get it. I understand that need and want. My only concern with getting such a high armor class is I feel like you're just going, yeah, take that, DM. The DM goes, all right, fine. That means you're gonna fight some really fucked up shit because having been a DM, when characters get insanely high level classes, it gets really fucking annoying. Because they basically just get to breeze through the battles.
Are we talking about Baldur?
I'm talking kind of just in general. There were several characters.
Baldur had the highest AC.
There were several characters that was just like, I'm trying to not run things that are super overpowered because I don't want to kill the rest of the people, but I have to kill your ass. And it's not that I want to kill you, but I want you to feel like you're in danger. Because if you just feel like you can walk through everything, then what's the point?
But that's another thing you have to think of as a DM. Maybe you might be able to walk through it, but the rest of you will not.
Yeah, but I've also very much dealt with people who just don't care about the rest of their team. So, I mean, if you're not going to care about the rest of the players, then it still doesn't help for the DM. And it's because it may work for your character's story, which is great. So your character doesn't care about his team. Your character has a high armor class.
Yep.
And so that all works for you, but it puts the DM in a bad spot.
Okay.
And having been on both sides of the divider, I understand that thought process. I'm not saying don't make the characters.
Oh, no.
I'm saying that maybe when we make characters, we should think a little bit more about what the rest of the team is going to be running as.
Yeah, and then you have the one who just straight up doesn't want to fight, but enjoys a lot of storytelling, and then that leads me to my second favorite, which is bards. I fucking love bards. They'll take time out of their day just to make everybody feel good, even when things are going bad.
So, bards are fun, too. I think if I was going to go as a second, can you scroll through these really quick? I kind of like fighters.
Fighters are good. You get freaking 2 attacks at
Rogues
level
and
2.
Rangers are fun, too. I kind of like people that can come in and be a badass in their fighting.
Nah, I would say Ranger.
And that's why I like sorcerers, because you know, you're able to use melee, you're able to do hand to hand, but you're also able to use your powers. Warlocks. But you know, Rangers and Rogues would be fun for that too. Fighters would be fun for that. I've always liked the homebrew of gunslingers.
Gunslingers are just fighters with just added proficiency.
Yeah. My only issue with gunslingers is that I find they rely purely on the guns, and it kind of kills the story as well.
Now, okay, this is where I make a counter argument. Their Critical Role, first campaign, Percival, he was a gunslinger. He actually went on to, you know, had his gun. Sure, that was his major weapon point. But then he started using his rapier a little bit more, started, you know, using his abilities a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then he got possessed by insert thing that I'm not going to tell you because it's actually a really good story point if you guys are in the middle of campaign 1 of Vox Machina. It's a really good story point that actually makes him harder to use his gun for a brief bit. And it, like, you can add in story elements that don't necessarily negate the gunslinger.
Yeah, yeah. It also a lot of it comes down onto the DM adjusting the story or coming up with a story that'll work for the characters you choose. But also a lot of it comes from the player not just coasting through the game
Mm.
and wanting to play and wanting to tell the story.
Yeah, and then you also have, like, let's say 20 enemies against you that all have flying, that all have haste, that all have something that will get them into the fighter's range that makes him fall at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So then he'll have to take out that rapier or short sword and deal with it.
That's when you just throw a powder keg up into the air and shoot
Fluff or nutter.
it. So, you want to move over to race?
Races. What is your favorite race to play as and not to run into?
Human.
Human.
And I've been told I'm boring.
No. The reason why I go against that idea of thinking is because it's not necessarily boring. It's more along the lines of it's the common thing. It's not boring. It's what you see everywhere.
You say it's the common thing, but I don't think we've ever played with a human.
James's character.
With the Viking, he practically made him non-human.
No, the gunslinger.
He didn't do a gunslinger. That was Alex.
No. Oh, even still, he was human.
Yeah, I'll give you Alex had a gunslinger, but his original character was an undead creation.
He was undead?
Not the gunslinger. His first one was.
Oh, okay.
His first one was a Soul Stitch.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, I'll give you his gunslinger was human, but he did an actual gunslinger homebrew, and the Viking was human. But past that, everyone's always done. I've seen multiple Dragonborns. I've seen several different kinds of elves. I've seen people want to bring in elves that aren't even in D&D, homebrewed elves, things like that. I haven't seen any halflings, but I've seen a lot of like barbarians and
Barbarian?
Yeah,
that's a class.
Oh, sorry, not barbarians. Oh, what is it called? The big ones. What was Boulder?
Boulder was a Goliath.
I've seen a lot of like Goliaths and things like that. But that's not why I pick humans. I don't pick humans because whether they're common or not common. I pick humans because of the +1 to everything.
Oh yeah.
And because either they're going to be completely accepted or not accepted at all. There's a lot less gray area in the acceptance of humans in the worlds of D&D.
Okay. If you wanted to choose something a little more exotic, what would you say?
I've always liked dwarfs. I just don't like the size disadvantage.
Okay, fair.
I don't like halflings, too small.
Halflings get luck though, so if you roll a 1 on anything unlimited times, you get to re-roll it.
True, that's cool. I don't like. See, tieflings is another one I've seen used a lot. Dragonborns I've seen used a lot. Elves I see used a lot. Gnomes are tiny. That'd be hilarious. I don't like the half orcs because of them being part orc.
Or orcish resiliency, where if you fall to 0 HP, you instantly get back up at 1.
I mean, that's cool, yeah, but for me, I don't know. I'd probably go with a dwarf.
Okay.
I like the history of dwarves. They've got a lot going on with the mining and their love of
their heritage.
Yeah, their heritage and whatnot, and their love of gold and drink. So they're fun. They're a fun class.
Yeah. Now my favorite race is one that isn't in any book, and it really bothers me, and that is Gnoll. I love the little doggos. They are my favorite, but I can't seem to find where I have read them. I've read it once before, but I can't remember where. But I do love Gnolls. But if I have to pull one from a book, I would probably lean toward Ganassi.
Which ones are the Ganassis?
Ganassis have, of course, the ability of the earth in different ways, shapes, or form, as of air, earth, fire, and water. And each one has their own feat that they come with.
You know what's bothering me about this image?
What?
That one of them still looks like a damn elf.
Well, they're basically heritages of elves, just with...
So it's just another fucking elf.
Kind of.
Everyone does it. We had, at one point, when people were still creating stuff for one of our campaigns, more than half were all going to be different variations of elves. And I made a comment about it, and that's when people started changing it. Because it was just going to be a fucking elf tribe walking around. And I was like, not that that's not allowed, but it's like, why does everyone pick elves?
To be fair, I've never chosen elf. Ever.
I'm not saying you are.
I know, but I'm just saying I never have.
So, as you were saying about these, they're earth, wind, fire.
The band?
And water, not air.
They each come with their own perks. They each have pretty good ones, too. Such as, like, unending breath. You can hold your breath indefinitely when you're not incapacitated. As the air Ganassi. With earth Ganassi, you can meld with stone for free. Fire Ganassi's can have the produce flame cantrip, and you automatically get the burning hand spell as a level 1 spell, which is kind of nice. It's a freebie. It's a pretty good one, and it uses your Constitution as a spellcasting ability, which...
Oh, that reminds me. That's one of the reasons why I like Warlocks, is they've got cantrips up the ass.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you do the Book of Shadows. Just so many cantrips. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got the Water Ganassi, which allows you to shape water for free.
Now, I do like this concept of picking a race and then having subsections of the races.
Oh, that brings me to another one. Shifters. Shifters have 4 different types that are super fucking cool because they're like were-beings, but they each have their own sub-races that are...
Like a sub-animal that they're the were-being of.
Like long-tooth shifting. Wheel shifting, you regenerate hit points at the start of your turns equal to your proficiency bonus. I'm like, that's fucking cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Razor Claw, which gives you your speed. You gain a little bit extra speed. You gain advantage on dexterity saving throws. You grow a pair of claws, which you may use as a melee weapon, which does 1d6 plus your proficiency modifier. At 5th level, you can now make an attack with those claws as a bonus action while you're in your shifted state. And then the list just goes on. There's more shit you get. Like, the shifter race is actually kind of cool.
And that's pretty cool. I like that concept. So, all right. So we covered classes and races. What else did you want to cover?
What kind of monsters do you like? We've both been DMs, and we've both been looking. But what kind of monsters do you like?
So, I like obscure shit that people don't normally use. A lot of my wanting to do D&D and doing things in D&D is getting away from the norms, because everybody meets in a tavern. Everybody kills goblins.
It's good start. It's good start.
I'm not saying it's not. I mean, it's everybody does it. Everybody deals with rats,
Everyone deals with those kobolds.
Yeah. And I've done it too, because it's a good place to start. It's a good place to go. I like to threaten people with the I'm spacing on their name, the big floating eyeballs.
Beholders.
I like to threaten people with beholders because I know it scares the shit out of them.
I mean,
I like, the old type of beings, the very Lovecraftian outsider type of things, and I know that that's not always concrete in D&D. I'm trying to think of some of the things I had you guys go against. The water people. I'm spacing on what they were called.
Hag.
No, not the hag. I did have you guys go against a hag, but there was maybe it was before you joined. Maybe it was
they were from Harry Potter.
Oh, not the Grindylows.
Oh, then I have no fucking clue.
No, they're...
Oh, the ones that I tried to make a peace with.
Yeah.
Before... Okay, yeah. I don't remember what the fuck they were.
Those ones are fun. They're an underwater. They kind of look like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Dark Mantle's good for starters because they're very slow. They don't move too fast, but they can fly, and they're like an early level monstrosity that just proves to be really hard to detect because they can blend into their surroundings with false appearance, so they can look like a stalagmite or stalactite and can do better with their stealth rolls.
Oh, I liked Minotaurs because we were doing a Baphomet involved story.
We had undead ones.
So that was fun. We did both regular and undead Minotaurs. However, a character I did pull up in that one that I didn't get to play with quite the way I wanted to was Scarecrows.
Oh yeah.
Scarecrows are fun because they've got the ability to tap into your fear.
Terrifying gaze.
And then they also kind of come from the fact of normally they're made from something's death. So when you guys were dealing with it, they represented everything you guys had killed up to that point.
Kind of like well, you haven't played Metal Gear Solid 3 that much, but in Metal Gear Solid 3, you have something similar happen to you.
Is that the one where you're walking through the water?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So that was fun. What about you? What else do you like to bring up?
Okay. I would say. Oh, please tell me. Oh God, I gotta fucking hold on. Oh God. Can we're gonna do that. I want images because I want you to look at how weird this motherfucker. Look at how weird he is.
Okay, so what I'm looking at here has horns, it has crab claws, and then on its second arms it has fists. And then it has some kind of bird feet.
Glabrezu.
It's just an amalgamation of random stuff.
It is pretty much an amalgamation of random stuff, but it is really strong. It is a demon. It is a type 3 demon. I don't quite understand that, but it is heavy. It weighs about 2.5 tons.
Challenge rating a 9. Yeah, one of the things that kind of always stopped me from getting too far into the monsters was I didn't want to kill everyone right off the bat. I wanted to give everyone a fighting chance, and a lot of the really cool monsters would have squashed you just by looking at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but the Glabrezu is a good one. This is what they're supposed to look like.
I did a homebrew of evil leprechauns, which was kind of fun, but their experience points were through the fucking roof, and I didn't like that.
And you were like, oopsie doodles.
Yeah, that kind of fucked things up. Like, they were worth way more experience than they should have been. Because for some reason, leprechauns only come in good form for D&D.
And so when you wrote them in to be not so good, they were harder to handle.
Yeah, it ended up being kind of a mess.
Now, this is what a true Glabrezu looks like.
It's got a human torso.
It's actually got an actual... It actually has, like, an embedded body into it trying to understand what you're saying and try and just diminish you as you are fighting.
I also did a...
unsettling because it's an abomination.
I've also done hobgoblins. We did a bugbear zombie. Or bugbear undead.
Oh, that's right.
That thing was kind of ripping apart the crew. And that kind of upset me because I had pulled it from a story that was meant for starting out. And I'm like, this is a little stronger than I think it should have been.
So, I mean, there's the Glabrezus, and then there's... Oh, and they also can... the Glabrezu can also do innate spellcasting, so it can just do magic on the fly. Werebears, owlbears... Bugbears, those kind of creatures are good. But, God, there's so many. Umberhulks? Umberhulks are pretty fucking cool.
I was going to do owlbears, but people had issues with killing them because of how cute they are.
There are some that look not so great. Like, I mean... Like, there are some from D&D that look super cool.
That's the image I pulled up right there. The
that
first one?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
He's kind of cute.
It kind of is, but then when you get to what they're actually like, they are assholes. Like, they can trample. They have trample.
Yeah.
Trample is one of the most dangerous things for large creature on medium creature because they can do it for free.
Well, I freaking had the Minotaurs doing gore, and that was just destroying people.
Yeah, it wasn't great. And then you had an assassin almost kill me twice over.
Ooh, the assassin's a fun one. So the assassin doesn't necessarily state anything specific about it, so you can make it pretty much anything. So I just did just a human assassin. Holy crap, are they powerful. Plus, they have a poisonous sword. Those are a fun one to send after people. And you only need to send one, because one can hold themselves against a party of like 3 or 4 people, if not more.
And handled all 5 of us.
Yeah.
And he took me down not once, but twice.
Yeah. And the only reason he didn't kill you was because I didn't want to kill you.
Because you wanted him to take me?
Yeah, he was kidnapping you.
Yeah.
So that one was a fun one. I like that one, can kind of be applied. I could totally make him an orc assassin. All it does is change his speed, but I could also still be like, well, no, he's an assassin. He's trained himself to be fast.
Either or multi-class him. Give him barbarian.
Yeah, I totally could. So
or monk.
Those ones are
Step
fun.
of the wind.
The other thing that I started to do, and you guys never experienced this because the story didn't really work out. Not because I don't want to call you guys out, but the story didn't work out because you guys just were so against following it. And then we ended up moving on to a new campaign. And so what I was doing was I was actually thinking of what type of characters I would have and then fighting the monsters that would fit them the best and leveling them up as if I was playing them rather than running them as just a monster from the monster handbook.
Okay.
The idea was they were going to be mini bosses you guys would deal with until you reached the main thing.
Okay. That's pretty fun and fair. It's just, I mean, there's so many monsters in all books.
Oh, yeah.
Volo's Guide gives you, like 25 really good ones that you haven't seen variations of. And, I mean, then you start getting into, like, this number. Fucking the Tarrasque. The Tarrasque is probably the coolest motherfucker in the world just because he is literally unkillable.
It's a big dinosaur thing.
Pretty much. Challenge rating 30. It would take about 10 people, all level 20 plus 1 if you can do a wish spell correctly, in order to get enough levels to overtake one Tarask.
Now, that's one thing I've never liked about D&D is that there's a level cap. Yet there's things far past that level cap.
Well, you're supposed to be able to, if you're fighting a Tarask in a normal campaign, you're supposed to be like, okay, we're going to go fight this thing. We're going to need help taking this thing out. So let us grab some more people so that way we can have like a half of an army doing this. And this would be like a big, huge number on the DM because it's like, okay, you find like 30 people. Okay,
Yeah, you guys would have to. I'd have to run NPCs. You guys would have to run other characters. Like, unless we're inviting 30 people over to play, which would just be a fucking mess.
It would be not so great, but at the same time, it'd be a big fight because that's what the Tarask is, a big fight.
Yeah, it's definitely not a
It is
party
known
of
as
5.
Yeah, I think it's known as the World Eater. Hang on, let's see where it's. Oh, it even has legendary actions.
I actually really liked legendary actions for Baphomet.
Yeah.
Oh, which one of you tried to do something? One of you tried to do something to Baphomet when you guys first met him?
Neil.
Oh yeah, you tried to use Neil on him. And
Yeah,
I was like,
to get him.
that's
to
not
stop.
happening.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not happening. He's a fucking god. You were a level what? 4?
4.
Like, it's not happening.
Hey, I was the only.
No, props to trying.
Yeah, it was the only
I'll
reaction
golf
I had, and he
clap
was
for you.
he was within my range. I tried. He rolled. I said okay. He's gone.
So
He took someone. Oh, he took Bill.
yeah, he took your guys' NPC that was basically doing everything that you guys weren't able to do.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of weapons maintenance and potions and stuff like that no one really was doing or had the ability to do. But because of that, there was an NPC that kind of was taking the brunt of it, and I kind of pulled that crutch from you guys to see how you guys could handle on your own.
And it was like a lukewarm water kind of feel, and then we had Sue? No. What was her name?
No, there was Sue, but she didn't come with you guys.
No, there was someone who came in on the dragon, and
That was Sue.
That was Sue?
Yeah.
Yeah, she helped clear up the yard before. Oopsie doopsie, we in another place now. But that.
Well, I also tried having you guys fight an army of scarecrows, and people weren't really having it. So I was like, all right, plan B. Which I had plan B figured out just in case. So when I DM, I try to come up with a couple ideas of how things could go as long as I have the time.
I'm currently doing cultist stuff, and they're about to run into a very nice cultist city. So this is going to be an interesting take on. Cultists are cool. I don't care how weak they are. You can buff them up. They are quite easy to scale up as a normal human warlock. If you want them to be warlock, they could be fighter, they could be ranger, and then just scale them up. For every level that your party goes up, keep them behind 2, and then you can give more. So you can actually have more for less.
Yeah,
that's the way I do it.
There's a lot of fun ones out there. So was there anything else you want to talk about this? I did have one more thing to say about how I like to play my characters. And this is something I would pretty much love to do in every campaign, but I know people would get annoyed with me playing essentially the same character.
Go on.
I like very charismatic characters that could get anyone to say, yeah, I'll sleep with you. But I never take it to that point because I hate how fuck hungry everyone is in D&D. Everyone I play with wants to fuck everything. So I like playing as the character that can fuck anything he wants, but won't. And you're sitting there panicking.
I'm not panicking. I'm just
what
like,
is this? Like
you're not wrong.
You're twitchy.
You're not wrong, but at the same time, bitch.
I have never been so uncomfortable in my life having a room of 4 or 5 people all hitting on me at once because they want to fuck me.
But not you.
But not me, the imaginary character I created. And I'm like, y'all need to, sort this out in your own free time. But I like playing the character that could fuck anyone, but doesn't. Instead, uses his power of persuasion and whatnot to get everything and anything else. And not in a thievery way, because I normally play generally good characters.
I mean, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Was there anything else you want to cover on this?
Favorite area of Dungeons and Dragons?
I don't have one. I like to build my own.
You like to build your own, but you don't have any that you would take more reference from?
No. I was actually originally going to. So we built a world. We did a world map. We built a bunch of towns and stuff like that when we did our first main campaign. And what I was going to do is I was fully designing a fortress.
That's right.
With a big bat at the top. Think very trying to get to Ganondorf.
Yeah, in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But minus the crumbling ground that you fall down. I have to climb all the way up the pillar again. So, I like the freedom of custom creation. And I know you can still do that well within their realms. It's just I don't want you guys to be able to read the books and be like, oh, well, we can wait till we get to this town because I know what it's going to have. I like to tell you what the town's going to have.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I love Faerun,
Mm-hmm.
but Faerun does not go well into 5e because it shortens them down into their books. It keeps them super short into their own books.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of bumming, but I was like, oh, wait, I know Faerun. I'll, start to lean in toward what I want. So I started making some of the towns that have already been established just updated. Instead of it being 1470, I've updated it to about 1870.
That's the other thing. I like to have a certain level of technology. I don't like my guys having to go, what time of day it is? Well, I don't know. The sun's roughly around here. I like watches to be a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we need walkie-talkies and air raids and shit like that. We don't need cars.
No. In mine, they barely invented something similar to a magical light bulb. Guns. They have these spectre glasses that allow to tell time just at a very weird rate.
I like gas lanterns. Like if someone had to walk through the town lighting all the gas lanterns, I'm cool with that. I like a certain level of technology
Meets magic.
Magic meets
That's spectre light.
Yeah, meets still. You're gonna have to fucking hoof it. Like
yeah.
I have considered putting trains into some of my games, and I'm like, if I do it, the trains aren't going to take you exactly where you want, and you're going to run into so much shit on it because I don't like how easy travel can be. But I also don't want you getting attacked every night. That was one of the things I really tried to avoid. There was times where I would just let people travel from one place to the next with nothing happening. They're like, nothing happens? I'm like, no, because if something happens every time you travel, then you're just expecting it, and it's no longer fun.
Yeah.
I like
you got to have some sort of safe travel. Come on now.
Yeah. I like a level of surprise and a level of mystery. So, but
I mean, I was actually starting to think of doing air travel, dirigible style, that was carrying from one end to the other, because I have the main campaign that is going to involve you have this sort of travel, because you guys are going to be traveling 10,000 miles.
You know what you just made me think of?
Go for it.
The Flintstones, how their airplanes are just pterodactyls that they put seats on the back of.
And with that, that concludes another episode. Be sure to follow us on Patreon. Be sure to follow our freaking links down below.
Yep.
Or
check out Loot Crate. Check out Tokyo Treat down at the bottom.
Oh, pterodactyls that have people on them.
I'm not saying pterodactyls. I'm just saying it's what made me think of. I mean,
it's
a dragon with stuff on the back.
Holy shit! It like hit both an inspiration and a pain spike right there in the back of my head. You guys have a great night. This one's gonna be releasing on Wednesday, so enjoy your early episode. So the next one will be on Thursday.
Yep. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, and don't follow us in real life because we'll notice and we'll run away.
Fucking pterodactyls.